The following programs were originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity, and they were recorded using a variety of means, from direct recording onto early audio tape and glass records, to simply placing the microphone of a wire recorder in front of the speakers of a radio playing the program. I hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to these, some of the all-time favorite shows.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Kenny Baker, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with This Can't Be Love. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I've been thinking that today is a day of universal thank yous. Everybody's unwrapping Christmas gifts. Everybody's saying thank you to somebody else. And we want to say it, too. We want to thank you, listeners, for your gift to us of friendship and loyalty during the past 4.5 years. You've made us mighty happy, tuning in every Sunday night, and we hope that we, in turn, have helped make you happy and brought you some pleasant half hours. So, for the makers of Jell-O and for every one of us on the Jell-O program, thank you and Merry Christmas. That was This Can't Be Love, played by the orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this being Christmas Day, we look in on Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills, where he is holding open house for all his friends. Take it away!
Jingle bells, jingle around the table. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a rumble seat with Gable. Jingle bells, dum-da-dum.
Mary, I wish you wouldn't jingle this ladder. I'm liable to fall off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack.
And hand me the rest of those ornaments. I want to get this tree decorated before the gang gets here.
This is a fine time to be trimming a Christmas tree. It should have been done a week ago.
Well, I wanted to look around and get a real good one.
I never saw such a droopy tree. It looks like Zazu Pitts in a green dress.
Mary, all this tree needs is a few decorations. Now, hand me up those candy canes.
Here you are.
And hold the ladder. Hey, I had 12 of these candy canes. Now there's only 11. Where's the other one?
Don't look at me.
I'm not looking at you. I'm asking you.
All right, I ate it. Here's 10 cents.
Smarty, I bet you'd be surprised if I took it.
I wouldn't be surprised if you sued me.
Mary, I want to get this finished. Hey, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
Where's that big glass star I told you to pack away last Christmas?
You mean that shiny one with the 3 points on it?
That star has 5 points.
Well, it went down 2 points since last year.
All right, bring it anyway. Mary, hand me some of that silver tinsel there.
Here you are. Say, Jack, are your socks dry yet?
Yeah.
Well, take them off the tree. People will be here soon.
Okay. Now, hang on to the ladder, Mary. I want to fix these top branches here. Hold tight now. Well, I'll be darned.
What's the matter, Jack?
There's a little squirrel up here on the top. Hello, squirrel.
Hello, Nut.
Get away from me. Shoot. Mary, hand me that Cupid doll I won at Ocean Park. I'll hang that on the treetop there.
Oh, Jack, that looks so corny. Why don't you get rid of it?
Listen, Mary, I threw over 100 baseballs to win this doll, and I'm going to keep it.
That's right. Say, how much tinfoil have you got saved up by now?
About 3 tons. Oh, shut up. Hand me a couple of those popcorn balls.
There's the door, Mr. Bennett. You want me to answer it?
Look, Rochester, I'm up here on the ladder. My arms are full of ornaments, so what do you think?
Well, how long before you'll be down?
Answer the door!
Yes, sir.
Say, Mary, this tree is beginning to look pretty good now, isn't it, huh?
That tree wouldn't look good if Earl Carroll hung chorus girls on it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, well. Happy Yuletide, gentlemen. Entree.
Oh, Jack, they're the boys from Phil's orchestra.
Gosh, what they did to my house last time they were here. Come in, fellas! Merry Christmas, everybody. Rochester, take the boys in the other room and give them some refreshments.
You mean that punch you fixed up this afternoon?
Yeah, help yourself, boys.
Take it easy, man. It ain't nothing to get excited about.
That Rochester doesn't think punch is any good unless you have to crawl away from the bowl. Now, let's see.
Say, Jack, who's all coming over tonight anyway?
Well, there's our whole gang. Then I invited some very important people. See, Robert Taylor and Barbara Stanwyck, Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, Ronald Coleman and Ginger Rogers. Oh, a whole flock of them.
Well, gee, I ought to run home and put on a dress with a lower back.
Lower back, it's down to San Diego now. And, oh, Mary, you want to hear something terrific? I asked Barbara Whitney to come here as my guest.
Barbara Whitney?
Yeah, you remember the girl I took away from Phil Harris?
The girl you took away from Phil.
What are you laughing at?
That's like taking a hair away from John L. Lewis's eyebrows.
Just the same, Phil will burn up when he sees her here.
Is she coming alone?
No, I asked Don Wilson to stop by and pick her up. Now, Mary, hand me some more of that tinsel. I want to get this tree finished. Well, I guess they're starting to arrive now, huh?
Hey, Mr. Benny, are you still up on that ladder?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then I'll answer.
Well, that's mighty sweet of you. See, now I think I'll put something on this branch here.
Oh, Jack, why don't you stop fussing with that tree and come down?
No, Mary, Miss Whitney will be here, and I want it to look beautiful.
Oh, Rochester.
Hello, Mr. Baker. Merry Christmas, seasons, felicitations, and wipe your feet.
Hiya, Kenny.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Come on in, Kenny. Hang up your hat and coat and make yourself at home.
Okay, Jack. Am I the first one here?
No, the orchestra boys are in the other room. Hey, Kenny, don't hang your coat on the Christmas tree.
Would need something.
Well, it's not that bare.
Oh, say, Jack, here's a little present for you. It's nothing much, but I hope you like it.
Oh, thanks, Kenny.
Here, catch it.
Gee, I wonder what it is.
I'll bet it's a baked apple.
Bet it isn't. Say, it's a pretty package. Oh, Kenny, these are beautiful.
They're the very latest thing, Jack. Musical handkerchiefs.
Musical handkerchiefs, huh?
Yeah, every time you blow your nose, chimes ring.
Well, I'll be darned. I can hardly wait till I catch a cold.
Well, why don't you try one, Jack?
Okay, I will.
Now blow hard.
Oh, isn't that a novelty? I wonder how they ever made these.
They must have crossed a piece of linen with a hunk of xylophone.
Mary, you're positively brilliant.
Say, Jack, as long as the orchestra boys are here, I'd like to go in the next room and brush up on my song.
Oh, go ahead, Kenny. We'll want a little entertainment.
Okay, see you later.
Now, Mary, we've just got a few more things to put up. So hand me that big paper bell there.
Here you are, Jack.
Hey, Rochester, there's the door again.
I got my shoes off.
Well, put 'em on and answer it.
Okay.
You know, Mary, the way Rochester's been acting lately, I've got a good mind not to give him his Christmas present.
What'd you get him, Jack?
A brand new vacuum cleaner.
A vacuum cleaner?
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. He can play with it on his day off.
Well, at least it's something practical.
Here you are, boss. A couple of telegrams for you.
Telegrams. See where they're from, Mary.
Okay.
Christmas greetings, I suppose, huh?
Oh, Jack, this wire's from Robert Taylor.
Oh, Bob, huh?
Yes, he says, Dear Jack, terribly sorry that Miss Stanwyck and I are unable to come to your party tonight, as Miss Stanwyck's dog Grover is quite ill.
I don't believe it. That's just a thin excuse. What's the other wire, Mary?
Here it is. It says, Dear Jack, believe me, Mr. Taylor is telling the truth. I have a terrible headache, signed Rover.
Well, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to see through those wires. I'm glad they're not coming. That burns me up.
Hey, Jack, should I try my song now?
Yes, go ahead and try it. What do I care? Mary, hand me some more of that lousy tinsel.
Town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie above thy deep and dreamless sleep. The silent stars go by, yet in the dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. Away in a manger, no crib for his bed, the little Lord Jesus lay down his sweet head. The stars in the sky looking down where he lay, the little Lord Jesus asleep in the hay. Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord. Oh, holy child of Bethlehem, descend to us, we pray. Cast out our sin and enter in, be born in us today.
This side here could stand a few more ornaments. Mary, hold the ladder.
Okay.
And hold it tight. Remember what happened the last time I climbed a tree?
Yeah, you saw the Rose Bowl game.
I don't mean that time.
Wow, look at all those decorations. Hey, Mary, what's that round, shiny thing on top?
Jack's head.
It is not. It's a silver moon.
Hey, boss, another telegram for you.
Take it, Mary. I wonder if I should put a popcorn ball on top there instead of a star.
Oh, Jack, this telegram is from Ronald Coleman.
Oh, Ronnie, what does he say?
He says, Dear Sir, regret exceedingly that I cannot attend your holiday gathering, and incidentally, how did you get my address?
How did I get his address? He lives right in back of me.
Well, there's another one off your list.
Yeah. Oh, darn it, that top bulb went out. Hold the ladder tight, Mary. There, I guess I can reach it.
Oh, Jack, here comes Don Wilson and Barbara Whitney up the front steps.
Oh, fine. Let him in, Mary.
Okay.
Gee, I hope Barbara liked the Christmas present I sent her.
Hello, Don. Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Mary.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Barbara. Mary? Ooh, my leg.
Was that the door, Mr. Bennett?
No, that was me. I fell off the ladder.
Oh, I won't answer it then.
Help me up, Don. Ooh, I sat on some ornaments. I hope somebody sent me a pair of tweezers.
Here, give me your hand, Jack. That's too bad.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, Jack. It's all my fault.
No, it isn't, Barbara. I'd have probably fallen off anyway. Gee, I'm glad to see you, Babs. Hey, did Don drive carefully on the way over?
Well, he drove pretty fast, but he had his arm around me so I wouldn't bounce out.
Oh. Oh, so that's it. Why, Don.
From Harris to Benny to Wilson.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. I'm not a bit jealous of Don. He's my friend, aren't you, Don?
Yes, Jack, and believe me, I acted like a perfect gentleman.
Did he, Barbara?
Well, he did whisper something in my ear that was kind of cute.
Oh, yeah? What was it, Don?
Well, Jack, I'll admit I did sort of lose my head for a minute.
All right. Come on, Don. What did you whisper in Barbara's ear?
Well, I got all excited and I said, roses are red, violets are blue. Jello is tempting, and so are you.
Why, Don Wilson, look at those big red blushes on your face. Say, Babs, did you get the Christmas present I sent you?
Thanks, Jack. They were lovely, but I never wear pink ones.
Oh, darn it, Barbara, keep still. Gosh.
Oh, boy, Jack is sure some devil.
Stop laughing, Kenny. I bought Barbara a pair of pink gloves.
I bet they got lace on them.
They have nothing on the kind. Now, come on, everybody. Let's go in the other room and have some refreshment.
Let's go get something to eat.
Hey, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
There's somebody at the back door wants to see you.
Oh, yes, I know who it is. Excuse me a minute. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, hello, Andy.
Hiya, Buck.
Not so loud. Wait till I close the door. Now, look, Andy, you'll find the Santa Claus suit out there in the garage. And as soon as you're dressed, you climb up on the roof and come down the chimney.
Well, I better put a beard on so they won't recognize me.
Yeah, you better put one on your tonsils, too. Now, here's the bag with all the presents in it.
Okay, gee, this is going to be fun.
Quiet, Andy, quiet. They'll hear you.
Oh, say, Buck, here's a little Christmas present that Ma sent you. I hope you like it.
Well, that was very sweet of her. What is it, Andy?
Well, it's a combination salad fork and back scratcher.
Well, say, there's a comb on there, too.
Yeah, that's for your hair. Are you,
Wait a minute, Andy. Say, there's a comb on there, too.
That's for your hair as you're going by.
Oh, yeah. But it's too late now. Now, look, remember, Andy. Remember, when you're all dressed up, when you're all dressed up, get up on the roof, see? And here's your cue. When you hear me say, Santa Claus will be here in a minute, you come down the chimney.
Okay, see you later, Buck. I feel like a darn fool.
Quiet, Andy. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Dum, 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 dum. Well, here I am again, gang. Hey, I'm sorry, Barbara. I had a little business to attend to.
Oh, that's quite all right.
Say, Jack, another telegram just came for you. It's from Clark Gable and Carol Lombard.
Oh, what does it say?
It says that we would love to be with you tonight, but we were invited somewhere else in the nick of time.
Well, of all that's the last time I'll ever invite them. I hope Ginger Rogers doesn't wire me that she can't come.
She couldn't wait. She telephoned.
Oh, that's fine. The next time I'll give a party, I'll get a crowd if I have to change my name to Elsa Maxwell. This is awful.
Yeah, what are we going to do with all this food in the kitchen?
I don't know, Rochester.
Doggone, I'll be eating so much cranberry sauce, I'll be red in the face.
That's a neat trick if you can do it. Red in the face.
Say, Jack, isn't Phil Harris coming over tonight?
Phil? Of course he is, and wait till he sees Barbara Whitney here.
Why, Jack, didn't you tell Phil I had a date with you tonight?
No, let the wise guy find out for himself. Hey, boys, how about playing a number, fellas, and we'll dance till dinner is ready. Huh? And leave the punch bowl on the table. You can go back. Come on, Babs, let you and I dance.
I'm sorry, Jack. I promised the first one to Don.
Oh, I see. Well, Mary, looks like I'm stuck with you. Huh?
Oh, no, you're not. I'm stuck with Kenny.
Well, play, boys. Hey, Rochester.
I don't want to dance.
I don't want you to dance. I want you to put down that newspaper and get out of that easy chair. Hit it, boys. Who does Clark Gable think he is, anyway?
Well, thanks, Barbara. I enjoyed that dance very much.
So did I, Don.
Say, Mary, I'm some dancer, ain't I?
Kenny, you're marvelous, and believe me, I'm kidding.
Thanks, pal.
Hey, Jack, what are you doing up on that ladder again?
I want to put these ornaments back on top of the tree. Now, Mary, hold the ladder steady this time, will you? There's the door, Rochester.
Doggone, every time that bell rings you up on the ladder.
Listen, Rochester, you'd be trimming this tree yourself if you weren't colorblind. Mary, hand me up those scissors.
Well, well, Merry Christmas, Mr. Harris.
Hiya, Rochester.
Say, Jack, it's Phil Harris.
Oh, boy, wait till he sees Barbara here. Merry Christmas, Phil.
Same to you, Jackson. Say, Jack, I brought a friend along. Do you mind?
No, who is it?
Joan Bennett.
Joan Bennett? Hello, Joan.
Hello, Jack.
Ooh, my elbow.
Well, Jack, what are you doing in that ridiculous position?
Who, me?
It's an encore, but you don't know it.
Help me up, Mary. Well, Joan, I'm awfully glad you dropped in. Gee, it was nice of Phil to bring you.
Oh, he and I are old friends, aren't we, Phil?
You said it, baby.
Baby. You know, Joan, every girl he takes out, he calls baby.
Well, he can't remember all their names.
Half of them you can't even pronounce. Oh, Joan, you know everybody here, don't you?
Nearly everybody. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Joan. Gee, that's a pretty dress you've got on.
Thanks. You really like it?
No, but it's Christmas.
Mary. Oh, Joan, I don't think you've met Miss Whitney. This is Barbara Whitney, my latest.
Well, how do you do, Miss Bennett? How do you do? She's a little young for you, isn't she, Jack?
Well, that's me. Get 'em young, treat 'em rough.
And buy 'em nothing.
You know, Joan, Phil is so witty at times.
Hey, Miss Bennett. Miss Bennett.
Yes, Kenny.
Here I am under the mistletoe.
I'll be over in about 5 years.
Very good, Joan.
5 years. Gosh, I'll be out of the mood by then.
Look what's in a mood. Well, boys and girls, I hope you're all hungry. We're going to have a swell turkey.
Don't tell me you went for a turkey.
Yes, I did, Phil. We're going to have a marvelous dinner. Everything from soup to nuts.
How much is it a plate?
I'll just ignore that. Oh, Rochester, how's the turkey coming along? We're getting hungry.
Well, it'll take time, boss. That's a pretty tough bird.
Tough bird? He's been in the oven over 3 hours.
I know, but every time I light the gas, he blows it out.
Well, I'll be darned. Now, you go out in the kitchen and rush that turkey along.
Okay. Man, that's the foulest foul I ever saw.
I'm sorry, Joan, but you know Rochester exaggerates so. The dinner is really lovely.
Well, to tell the truth, Jack, I'm not hungry.
Oh.
Well, there's an unusual blonde.
Quiet, Mary. Well, folks, let's have some of these hors d'oeuvres here till dinner is ready.
Oh, Jack,
What?
Rochester made a mistake.
Well, what's the matter?
There's only 7 of us here, and he brought in 8 olives.
Well, Joan can have 2. Gee, it's good to see you again, Joan. Gosh, I haven't seen you since we finished making artisan models abroad. We sure had a lot of fun in that picture, didn't we?
Yes, we did, Jack. It's playing around now. Have you seen it?
Joan, you promise you won't tell anybody?
I promise.
I saw it 12 times.
12 times?
Yeah.
You know your part yet?
A little trouble, didn't I? But say, Joan, no kidding. Gee, when I looked up at the screen and I saw you in my arms, gee, it seemed just like a dream.
You mean that scene where we were sitting on the park bench in the moonlight eating popcorn?
Yeah. Gee, wasn't it marvelous?
Well, I didn't think there was enough butter on it.
I'm talking about us.
Oh.
You know, Joan, the 2 of us worked so smoothly together. How'd you like to make another picture with me sometime?
Well, Jack, I don't know. I couldn't really say right now.
Send him a telegram. Everybody else does.
Mary. Oh, say, Joan, I almost forgot. Come on out here in the hall a minute. I got a surprise for you.
What is it?
Oh, come on with me. You'll find out. Excuse us a minute, will you, fellas?
Hey, Jack, what's the idea?
Never mind. Come on, Joan.
Oh, all right. Don't pull me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, here we are.
Where?
Right under the mistletoe. You know what that means, don't you?
No, what does it mean?
Well, it means this. Yippee! Wow!
Hooray.
Wasn't that swell, huh? Now, let's go back, and Joan, act nonchalant, huh?
All right. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Dum, 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 da, dum, dum, dum. That's the idea.
Hey, Jack, what are we going to eat?
All right, pretty soon, fellas, pretty soon. Now, look, everybody. Before we go into dinner, I want you all to sit around the fireplace and get your presents. Santa Claus is coming down the chimney.
Santa Claus?
Yeah. Now, sit around the fireplace, everybody. Now, put out the lights, Mary.
Okay, Jack.
Because Santa Claus will be down here in a minute. Because Santa Claus will be down here in a minute. Because Santa Claus...
Oh, stop that clowning, Jack.
I'm not clowning. Santa Claus, are you deaf?
Deaf nothing, I'm stuck in the chimney.
Oh, my goodness, what'll we do now?
Let's eat.
That's it. Come on, fellas. See you later, Andy.
This is the busiest season of all the year, and you mothers know it better than anyone else. Well, here's one swell way to save time and trouble and keep your family happy. Get acquainted with the delicious new Jell-O puddings and serve them often. Well, they're quick and easy to prepare, and the whole family will enjoy them. Jell-O butterscotch pudding, rich with old-fashioned butterscotch flavor. Jell-O vanilla pudding, creamy, delicate, and smooth. And Jell-O chocolate pudding, rich and chocolatey and tempting. All 3 can be made in next to no time, for they require only just a few minutes cooking. And you get delicious pudding, the real homemade kind that's just mouth-watering good. So for easy, inexpensive, and delicious desserts, try the new Jell-O puddings, butterscotch, vanilla, chocolate.
Good night, folks, and Merry Christmas.
Kenny Baker appears on the Jell-O program through courtesy of Mervyn LeRoy Productions.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Kenny Baker, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with No Wonder. Well, here we are at the beginning of another year, and Jell-O wants to send greetings to all of you. And we've received a letter that makes a swell New Year's greeting for us. It's from a woman who's been using Jell-O year in and year out for the past 37 years. She is Mrs. C.C. Brown of Huntington, West Virginia. And listen to what she writes. We bought our first package of Jell-O in December 1902. We lived in the country then and made few trips to a store, so the Jell-O was a bit of a luxury, saved for the holiday gathering of kin and friends. Needless to say, Jell-O made a hit, and we've used it exclusively ever since. When I had my own home, I wanted something special. Nothing so filled the requirements as Jell-O. In all those 37 years of use, I've never had a package that wasn't perfect, and Jell-O is a prime favorite with my family. Well, thank you, Mrs. Brown. That's a grand letter to start us off on 1939, and to the rest of you, we'd like to say, if you want to give your family their prime favorite dessert, if you want to enjoy that delicious, extra-rich fruit flavor, look for the big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this being the first day of the new year, it behooves me to introduce the star of this program in a manner befitting his dignity and position.
Well,
He is a man whose illustrious character and many fine qualities have my sincere admiration.
oh, Don, please.
A man whose lovable nature and unselfish devotion to others,
Say, Jack.
Quiet, Mary. I want to hear this. Go ahead, Don.
whose unselfish devotion to others has endeared him to the hearts of his public.
How true.
So I bring you none other than that sparkling, scintillating, outstanding personality,
That's not me. I'll kill myself.
Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking, one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. And, Don, I want to thank you for that beautiful introduction. You know, as a rule, a man has to be dead before he gets such a lovely tribute.
Well, I wrote it just before the broadcast while you were lying down.
Oh, you didn't expect me to get up, eh? Well, I am pretty tired after last night. Hey, by the way, Don, what did you do New Year's Eve? Did you have any fun?
Oh, I had a swell time, Jack. Simply wonderful.
That's good.
First, I took my wife to a movie, and then we went to the Coconut Grove to celebrate.
Well, that was nice. First a picture, and then the Coconut Grove. I suppose you danced a lot.
No, my wife left her shoes in the movies.
Well, there's nothing like relaxing at the cinema. I often slip my shoes off myself, but I'm getting so absent-minded, I'm not going to do it anymore.
You're not.
No, the other night at Grauman's Chinese, I was clear down to my underwear before the usher stopped me. Oh, it was embarrassing.
I can imagine. Well, tell me, Jack, how did you spend New Year's Eve? Any excitement last night?
Well, I had a fairly good time, Don. I took Mary to the Wilshire Bowl, you know, where Phil Harris is playing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Say, you had a pretty good time in my place last night, didn't you, Jackson?
Yes, I had a nice time, Philson. But as long as it was your place, you might have seen that I got a decent table.
What are you talking about? Your table wasn't so far away.
It wasn't. I was so far from the bandstand, I couldn't even see the circles under your eyes. It's a fine table.
Oh, you're exaggerating, Jack. There were a lot of people sitting behind you.
Listen, Phil, the only people sitting behind me were from Pasadena, and they were home at the time. What a New Year's Eve.
Well, Jack, maybe Phil couldn't help it. New Year's Eve's a big night, and after all, first come, first serve.
That's what burns me up, Don. I was the first one in the place. I got there so early, the manager asked me to help blow up the balloons. How do you like that?
Well, you got paid for it, didn't you?
That's not the point. Now, let me tell you another thing, Phil. I don't mind my table being far away, but the next time you seat me behind a post, please see that there's a knothole in it.
Behind a post. What are you talking about?
Oh, never mind.
Hello, Jack. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I was just telling Phil about the fine table he gave us last night. Imagine seating us behind a post. It burns me up.
You're crazy, Jack. We weren't behind a post.
We weren't?
No, that was a piece of confetti on your glasses.
Well, why didn't you tell me? I nearly broke my neck trying to peek around it. Anyway, post or no post, we were certainly sitting far enough away from everything.
Well, I'm glad we were. I was so ashamed sitting next to you with that old-fashioned tuxedo you had on. Why don't you buy a new one?
Oh, how often do I wear a tuxedo? Besides, it isn't so old.
It isn't?
No.
Go on. I put my hand in your pocket and pulled out a program from Ford's Theater.
Listen, Mary, that suit might be a little out of style, but they're still wearing single... Now, listen, Mary. That suit might be a little out of style, but they're still wearing single-breasted tuxedos.
Not with a belt in the back.
Well, they're coming back, so don't be so smart.
Mary's right, Jack.
Oh, she is.
Your pants were so tight you had to wear your garters on the outside.
Listen, Maestro, one more crack out of you, and you'll be leading the organ on the Lum and Abner program. And another thing, Phil, the next time I dance by your orchestra, watch your baton. Remember that.
Okay, buddy.
Buddy yet. Incidentally, fellas, this being the new year, I was going to give you all a raise in salary, but the way you've been acting today, I'm not going to do it.
I'd be satisfied just to get my regular salary on time.
Now, wait a minute, Phil. Don't give me that. I put your check in the mail every Monday morning.
Well, from now on, don't pin it on a postcard. I don't want people to know what I'm making.
All right, Phil, cut out the beefing. Let's see if we can't inaugurate the new year with a little harmony.
Oh, Jack, you want to hear something awful?
What, Mary?
Here it is, New Year's, and I forgot to write a poem about it.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'll sit right down and dash one off.
Okay, hurry it up.
I'll fill in a little time for you, Mary. Ladies and gentlemen, while Miss Livingston is struggling with her latest brainchild, let me remind you that one of the best ways to start out the new year is to have Jell-O for dessert.
Darn this pen.
It is tempting, delicious, easy to make, and comes in 6 delicious flavors.
Hey, Jack, how do you spell knowledge? With an N or a K?
With a K.
Strawberry, raspberry, cherry.
With a capital K?
Orange.
Yes, a capital K.
Lemon and lime, for heaven's sake.
I'm sorry, Don. And now, folks, going from the...
All right, Jack, I'm all set.
Why, Mary, is your poem finished already?
Yeah?
Gee, you work faster than George Bernard Shaw.
Well, his beard gets in his way.
Oh, that's right. What's the title of your poem?
Goodbye, 1938. Hello, 1939.
Well, that covers everything. Go ahead.
Oh, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Please don't be a sad and blue year. These last 12 months have been sublime. So goodbye, 38. Hello, 39.
Well, so far, nobody is screaming.
You just wait.
Oh.
I wonder who this coming year will be our favorite movie star. Will it be Garbo or Sonia Heine? So goodbye, 38. Hello, 39.
90?
What has this year in store for us? For thee and thou, and thy and thus. Will Don get fatter? Will Phil be gay? Will Kenny get knowledge with a capital K?
I doubt it.
I'd like to ask you, if I dare, will Jack continue to lose his hair?
Mary.
And when it's gone, will it stay away? Goodbye, 38. Hello, toupee.
Mary, get to the last verse, will you?
It's coming up now.
That's good.
Oh, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Please don't be a sad and blue year. We will give you one more chance. So goodbye, Broadway. Hello, France.
Well. Mary, you finally did it. Hey, Phil, do you think you can follow Mary's poem with a number?
I'll try.
Okay, hit it, boys. Wait a minute. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Oh, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, to the greatest man I know. And I bring you fondest greetings. There's a wagon. I must go.
Well, I'm glad they let him out for our program. Play, Phil. Say It With a Kiss, played by Phil Harris and his original orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Original?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Jack. This isn't the band I started out with.
I don't mean that, Phil. I mean when they look at their music, they still play something original. And speaking of the band, Phil, you'd think that they could start out the new year by dressing a little better. Where'd they get those awful-looking neckties?
Aren't they atrocious?
They certainly are. Where'd they get them?
I gave them to them for Christmas.
Oh. And say, and that reminds me, Phil, that was some Christmas present you sent me. You must have been under the weather when you bought it.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I was sober as a judge when I bought your gift.
You were not.
I was, too.
Then let me ask you something. What use have I got for a porthole? Isn't that a fine present, Mary? A porthole.
Well, if your head gets any bigger, you can use it for a monocle.
All right, don't make it any worse than it is. Oh, hello, Kenny.
Hiya, Jack. Happy New Year.
Well, Kenny, I see you're still celebrating. You must have had a good time last night.
I'll say, I didn't get to bed until 10 o'clock. Gosh, I'm a wreck.
Kenny, how can you be a wreck if you went to bed at 10 o'clock?
I slept in a folding bed and I forgot to pull it down.
Well, it's none of my business, Kenny, but would you mind telling me how you got into a folding bed without pulling it down first?
I'm not going to tell till I get it patented.
Oh, that's right. Guard your secret carefully. And stop blowing that horn.
Well, I'm practicing for the Rose Bowl game at Pasadena tomorrow. Say, are you going, Jack?
I certainly am. I wouldn't miss it for anything. Hey, Mary, I got a couple of good seats. You want to go with me?
No. I went with you last year, and you were the only one in the stand wearing a raccoon coat and a beanie.
Well?
And the way you were waving that pennant around, I was so embarrassed.
Well, what's wrong with waving a pennant?
Yours said Waukegan High School on it.
All right, you don't have to go with me. I'll take somebody else. You want to go with me, Kenny?
Sure, but I'll have to bring my girl along.
I don't see how, Kenny. I've only got 2 seats.
Well, I'll invite her anyway. Maybe we can lose her in the crowd.
Yes, that ought to solve our problem. Incidentally, I mislaid my ticket somewhere in the house. I hope Rochester finds them.
Hey, Jack, who do you pick to win the game, Duke or USC?
Well, Phil, I'm a USC man myself, and I think it's a cinch for them to win.
Oh, you do, eh? Well, how much do you want to bet?
I didn't say anything about betting, Phil. I just told you who was going to win.
Well, if you're so sure about it, why don't you want to bet?
Because gambling is naughty. And you know it.
You mean because you're a scaredy cat?
Scaredy cat. Listen, Harris, what are the odds on the game?
2-1 on USC.
All right, wise guy, I'll bet you 20 cents to a dime, and put up or shut up. Well, what are you stalling for, Harris?
He's afraid if he wins, you'll fire him.
That's it.
I thought you'd welch on it.
20 cents to a dime. Make that $100 to 50 and you got a bet.
Don't try to show off, Phil. You had your chance. Now, let's drop it.
You know, I don't think Jack wanted to bet at all.
Think. Candy, your job on this program is to sing.
Well, I can have a hobby, can't I?
You better stick to stamps, Kenny, and go ahead with your song so we can get to do our play tonight.
Okay.
Hold it a minute. That must be Rochester. I asked him to call me. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Bennett. This is Rochester.
Yeah, I was waiting for your call. Did you find my 2 tickets for the Rose Bowl game?
No, I looked high and low. I can't find them anywhere.
Oh, gone it. That's a shame. Well, keep on looking. They might be in the house. They must be in the house someplace.
Okay.
So long.
So long. Say, boss, can I have tomorrow off? I gotta go to a wedding in Pasadena.
A wedding in Pasadena. Tell me, Rochester, who's getting married?
What was that, boss?
I said, who's getting married in Pasadena tomorrow?
Oh, aunt of mine.
An aunt of yours, eh? Who's she marrying?
Some fella that's going to be my uncle.
Uh-huh, I see. Now, at what time does this wedding take place?
They kick off by 1:30.
What's that? What did you say?
Nothing. Keep quiet, operator.
Rochester, there was no operator on the line. Now, you found those Rose Bowl tickets, didn't you?
Well,
You found those tickets, didn't you?
Am I under oath?
Answer me. Did you or did you not find those tickets?
Sing, Kenny.
Listen, Rochester, when I get home tonight, I want to find those 2 tickets on the dresser in my bedroom.
Okay, boss. Happy New Year.
Go ahead and sing, Kenny. That Rochester. The only way I can keep things in my house is to nail him down.
I promise you with heart sincere that I will always love you, dear, that when you need me, I'll be near, I promise you. My love for you is as great as a love can be, yet words couldn't quite express the way that I feel. And as we stand at the doorway of days to be, I faithfully take an oath on all that concerns us both. I promise you with heart sincere that I will always love you, dear, that when you need me, I'll be near, I promise you. I promise you I'll build a shrine where we can keep our love divine until the very end of time, I promise you. With every dawn that I awaken, I know my chances will increase to keep the vow I've taken, to see that your joys never cease. I promise you your heart will sing in what will seem eternal spring. I'll try to bring you everything I promise you.
That was I Promise You, sung by Kenny Baker. And, Kenny, that was very good for a fellow who stayed up until 10 o'clock. Your voice hardly showed it.
Oh, I'll pull myself together in a couple days.
I hope so. And, Kenny, if you got to bed at 10 o'clock last night, how'd you get those awful circles under your eyes?
I painted them on. Ain't I nuts?
You sure are. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction this evening...
I was going to paint wrinkles on my forehead, but my mother wouldn't let me.
Well, she was right. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
If I was Kenny's mother, I'd trade him in for an Airedale.
Now, Mary, Kenny's mother wouldn't do that. And now, folks...
We've got an Airedale.
All right. If you two will quiet down, I'd like to get on with our play. And now, folks...
You know something, Kenny? I never met your mother.
Oh, you didn't?
Phil, for heaven's sake, who cares? Now, let's get on with the play. Everybody's butting in here but Don.
Well, I met Mrs. Baker.
Oh. Well, I'm very happy to know it. And now, folks, going from Mrs. Baker to our feature attraction of the evening, this being the first day of the new year, tonight we are going to present an original play, a sort of a New Year's fantasy, entitled The New Tenant, or Goodbye 38, Hello 39. Now, I will...
You stole that from my poem.
Mary, that was just a coincidence, believe me. Now, in this fantasy, I will play the part of 1938. And Mary...
You know, Jack, I read this play 4 times, and I still can't understand it.
Well, in the first place, Kenny, our play is a little too deep. And in the second place, you're a little dope. Now, I will be 1938, and Mary will be Mrs. 1938, my loving, loyal wife. And we have 12 children. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. It's censored.
Then keep still. Now, our play opens in the home of Mr. and Mrs. 1938, who live in a big round house called the Earth. It is almost midnight on December 31st, and their lease is about to expire. Curtain. Music. Oh, Mariah.
What do you want, Pa?
Better hurry up with that packing. The landlord said we got to get out by midnight to make room for the new tenant.
The new tenant? Who is he?
Oh, some little nudist by the name of 39. He don't know what he's getting into, does he, Ma?
Nope. This house sure has been a mess, ain't it?
You said it. Remember a couple of months ago when the bathtub ran over and got New England soaking wet?
I sure do. And say, Pa, what about the time last spring when the roof leaked and we had to hang Los Angeles out to dry?
Wasn't that awful?
Yep. Hey, Pa, turn on the moon. I can't see what I'm packing here.
Okay. Hey, Moon.
What do you want, you old fossil?
I want some light down here. And quit winking at my wife.
Okay. Say, you want some milk, too?
Milk?
Yeah, a cow just jumped over me.
Well, I'll be darned.
Quit gabbing, Pa. We ain't got much time.
That's right. Darn those shooting stars, they're having a feud again.
Doggone it, Pa. Even with all our troubles, I kind of hate to leave here.
So do I. After all, we did have a lot of fun.
Remember the time that scallywag Howard Hughes flew around our house in 5.5 days?
Do I? He sure had me dizzy. And then that fella Corrigan. He started to fly from the kitchen to the parlor, and the darn fool ended up on the back porch.
Say, Pa, did you pack up all the swing music?
I'm doing it now. Flatfoot Flugie with the Floyd. Might as well take that with us. Say, Ma, it's 5 minutes to 12. We better start rounding up the kids. Where are they?
Well, January, February, and March are outside playing on a cloud.
Oh, where's April?
He's taking a shower.
Oh, he's always doing that.
The rest of them are around here someplace.
Well, tell him to stick close. We're going to leave in just a few minutes.
I wonder who that can be.
I'll go over and see. A tisket, a tasket. Boy, am I sick of that. Well, look who's here.
Who is it, Pa?
It's old man Mars from across the Milky Way. Hiya, Mars.
Hiya, neighbor. Heard you were leaving tonight, so thought I'd drop over and say goodbye.
Well, that was mighty sweet of you.
Say, I sure handed you a scare a couple of months ago, didn't I?
You certainly...
Hey, what was the big idea, anyway?
Well, I really didn't mean it. I was lighting a cigarette, and I reached down in the Hudson River to put the match out.
And what happened?
Well, my hand slipped, and I gave New Jersey a hot foot.
You sure did. Say, Mars, you'll have to excuse me now. It's almost midnight, and I got to be getting out of here. So long.
So long. Oh, say, I got my rocket ship outside. Can I give you a lift anywhere?
No, thanks. We'll be all right. Say, those rocket ships smoke a lot, don't they?
Yeah, the exhaust pipes are bad. I just flew by heaven, and now angels really got dirty faces.
Well, if you pass by the other place, give my regards to Fred Allen. So long, Mars.
So long.
Well, Ma, it's almost midnight, so put on that silly hat of yours and let's get going.
Okay, Pa.
There's the first stroke of 12. I wonder what's keeping the new tenant.
Don't worry, he'll be here.
Doggone, Ma, I forgot to find out where we're moving to.
Thought you bought a place over on Jupiter.
No, but I took a look at Venus. Time's a-fleetin'. We can't leave until that little brat gets here.
That must be him now.
Yep. Come in. Well, hello, young fella. Are you the little New Year?
I ain't Bobby Brain.
Well, my boy, come right in. Well, this is it, young man. Tell me, what do you think of your new home?
Boy, what a dump. This house could stand a lot of fixing up.
I know it, son. A lot of things wrong here, my boy. Yes, sirree. That Spanish shawl on the piano there is all ripped and torn. Need a lot of mending. And another thing, the china is just about all smashed to pieces. And while I think of it, son, if you see some little lost sheep roaming about, try and find a place for them around the house somewhere.
I'll do what I can.
For heaven's sake, let's get going.
Just a second more. Now, there's just one more thing, young fella.
What's that?
May not sound like much, but it's a mighty big issue. Your greatest worry, my boy, is going to be to pick out a Scarlett O'Hara. That had me groggy all year.
Come on, Pa, you're talking too much.
I'm coming, Ma. Say, young fella, if you want any Jell-O, you'll find plenty in the pantry.
Thanks, old-timer.
You're welcome. Happy New Year, young fella.
Happy New Year.
Come on, Ma, let's go.
Here's a swell new dessert for the holiday season. It's one the whole family will enjoy, and it's easy to prepare. It's Jell-O butterscotch pudding. And until you've tried it, you don't know just how delicious a pudding dessert can be. Creamy smooth, rich and tasty, with that real old-fashioned butterscotch flavor that will bring the family back for more. Then try the new Jell-O vanilla pudding, tempting, delicate, and full-flavored. And a Jell-O chocolate pudding, smooth and chocolatey, the kind that Mother used to make, but far quicker and easier. For all three Jell-O puddings take next to no time to prepare. There's only a few minutes cooking required. You'll find the simple directions on every package. And these new puddings will be a real surprise to you, for they're just as good as your own. Made with the same fine, wholesome ingredients, with a taste and texture you'll say is perfect. The best way to buy is to get 3 packages at a time. So ask your grocer for Jell-O butterscotch, vanilla, and a chocolate pudding. The real homemade kind.
This is the last number of the 14th program in the new Jell-O series. And we will be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Are you listening, Tommy? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce that in response to many, many requests, and owing to a renewed and timely interest, we are going to present our version of Walt Disney's famous picture, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, next Sunday night. So if you missed it the first time, folks, be sure and tune in. And if you heard it, tune in anyway, as we're going to have a brand new Prince Charming. Guess who, folks? Oh, Andy, you gave it away. Good night, folks.
J-E-L-L. Anything on the Jell-O program should courtesy of Mervyn LeRoy Productions. J-E-L-L. The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Goody Goodbye. You know, this coming Friday is the first official day of winter, and during the dark, blustery days ahead, you'll find nothing lights up the dinner table like the gay glint of orange Jell-O served as a bright, tempting salad or dessert. But suppose you live in Florida or sunny California, where you don't have to worry about dark winter days. Well, orange Jell-O is still your dish, for its cheerful color reflects the sunshine, and its extra-rich flavor rivals the tempting goodness of the real ripe fruit itself. Or try a tempting sea green mold of lime Jell-O served with slices of canned pineapple. Or what would you say to lemon Jell-O as golden as sunshine with stewed figs and whipped cream folded in to make a delicious creamy fig pudding? Why, there are dozens of grand ways to serve Jell-O, each one a creation that will climax the meal. So stock up on Jell-O tomorrow and look for the big red letters on the box when you buy. They spell Jell-O in 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. That was Goody Goodbye, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you our worn-out master of ceremonies. Between his broadcast at NBC, his picture at Paramount, and his Christmas shopping at the 5 and 10, he's the busiest little man in Hollywood, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Jell-O again, this is Tilly the Toiler talking. And, Don, you're right. I don't ever remember being as rushed as I've been this past week. I'm a wreck.
I can appreciate that, Jack.
You know, when I got home last night, I was so exhausted I didn't have the energy to go upstairs. I slept all night on the billiard table.
My goodness, you must have been tired.
I was, Don. I rolled and tossed and tossed and rolled till almost daylight.
Restless, huh?
No, I forgot to take the balls off the table. I didn't mind that so much, but I dreamt I was an ostrich, and I woke up this morning with my head in the side pocket. What a night.
Well, if you're tired, Jack, it's your own fault. Radio keeps you busy enough. What are you making a picture for?
That's what I can't figure out, Don. I can't understand Paramount putting me in another picture so soon. I'm not tired of my last one yet. But I guess they know best, huh?
Well, Jack, tell me something about your new picture. Is it a light, sophisticated comedy like Man About Town?
Oh, no, Don. This is a Western, a real rip-snorting melodrama full of actions and thrills.
Well, that's a surprise. How did they happen to cast you in that type of story?
Well, you see, Gary Cooper isn't at Paramount anymore, and they seem to think that I'm the one to take his place.
What was that, Jack?
I said Paramount seems to think I'm the only one at the studio that can take Gary Cooper's place.
Well, so long, Don. See you later.
Mary, come back here. There's nothing ridiculous about my playing parts like Gary Cooper.
What are you talking about? In the first place, Gary Cooper's better looking than you are.
Well, a little makeup will take care of my looks.
And he's younger than you are.
Mary, makeup will help me there, too.
And he's a great actor. Put some mascara on that.
Listen, my critical friend, I can play those strong Western types, too. I can talk through my teeth just like Gary Cooper.
What do you mean, your teeth?
Mary, possession is 9 points of the law. Anyway, wait till you see the picture, young lady. You'll change your mind.
Say, Jack, is Phil Harris in this one, too?
Yes, Don, he's in it, but I can't understand why. He must have something on the director. I wish I knew what it was. I'd like to get some more lines. Oh, well, I'll just snoop around.
Well, how is Phil in it? Has he got a pretty big part?
You'd think so to see him strut around on the set. He's such a ham, Don, yet he tries to be so democratic.
What do you mean?
He's got a sign on the back of his chair that says, Phil Harris, never too busy to say hello. Isn't that corny?
Well, Jack, I guess that's just his way of being a good fellow.
I know, Don, but it's so hammy, all those words on there. Now, all I got on the back of my chair is just Jack Benny, and right under it, a simple little star. Why overdo it? Well, anyway, besides Phil, there's Ellen Drew, Andy Devine, and oh, yes, Rochester's in the picture. I forgot.
You'll remember when it comes out.
Listen, Mary, I'm the hero. That's good enough for me. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Gary.
Gary?
And I do mean Indiana. Pretty sharp, huh?
Oh, that was a honey. How long did it take you to think that one up, Phil?
No time at all. It just came to me like a flash.
Well, someday you're going to get fired like that. And incidentally, Phil, I wish you'd stop telling everybody at Paramount that you're playing the part of my son. It's not true. Besides, it takes away from the romance.
Some romance. I read the script, and in the end, Jack marries a cow.
That's cowgirl. If you'd have turned the page, you'd have seen the word girl. Anyway, this is radio, so let's forget about pictures. We can talk about something else.
Hey, Jackson, as long as we're changing the subject, how about paying off that bet you welched on?
What bet?
That bet we made on the USC-UCLA game. Come on, pay off.
Phil, I'd pay off if I owed you anything, but that game was a tie.
Sure it was a tie, but you took USC and gave me 7 points.
I don't care if I gave you 50 points. The score was 0-0. That means I get nothing and you get nothing. Now get your band together and play a number.
I don't want to interfere, Jack, but if you gave Phil 7 points, he won that bet and you ought to pay him.
Certainly he ought to pay him.
Of course.
Oh. All right, Phil, all right. Here's a quarter. Now leave me alone. What a guy.
Thanks, Jackson. Here's your change.
Thanks. Now go ahead and play, you sorehead. Next time I gamble with you, I'm going to have it in writing. That was Make with the Kisses, played by a miser and his orchestra. Miser, Phil, meaning a man who thinks more of 15 cents than he does of my friendship. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
All right, if that's the way you feel about it, Jackson, here's your money back.
It's not the money, Phil. I just don't think I lost that bet.
You don't think you lost on Hoover.
Mary, I conceded that months ago. We're talking about the football game.
The trouble with you is you don't know anything about gambling. You're just a poor sport.
I'm a poor sport. That's a hot one. For your information, Phil, I had an uncle who was one of the most famous gamblers in Waukegan. Why, he'd bet $1,000 on the turn of a card.
I bet he was an uncle by marriage.
No, his name was Benny. Shoot the works, Benny. So keep that 15 cents, Mr. Small Fry. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Oh, Jack, don't forget about, you know.
I'm coming to that, Don. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas being just a week off, Mr. Don Wilson, that eminent American author, has written another of his famous one-act plays. Take it, Don.
This time, ladies and gentlemen, it's the night before Christmas. The scene is the home of Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus at the North Pole. Mr. Jack Benny will be Santa Claus.
Never mind, Mary. With a beard, no one will know the difference. Go ahead, Don.
The North Pole. Curtain. Music.
Bum 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 ba-dim bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-bum.
Oh, Santa.
What do you want,
You better get started pretty soon. The reindeers are all hitched and everything.
Well, I got a few more letters here, and I got to see what the kiddies want before I put my bag in the sleigh.
I'll help you. Here's a letter from Encino, California. It's from a kid named Philip Harris.
Tear it up.
But Santa, he says he's been a good little boy.
Good little boy. Why, last Christmas I got to his house around 5 a.m., and he was just getting home. Not only that, he threw snowballs at me.
There's no snow in Encino.
He didn't know it. Well, what does little Philip want from Santa Claus?
14 points in Tennessee.
Oh, well, he'll never get it.
Oh, Santa, here's a letter from Rochester Van Jones, Jr. in Central Avenue, California.
Rochester Van Jones. What does he want?
He says, Dear Santa, please send me a sled, a pair of roller skates, and a bottle of gin.
Well.
P.S. If you haven't got the sled and the roller skates, no hard feelings.
I'll see what I can do. Any more kiddies to be heard from?
Yes, here's one from Jackie Benny, Beverly Hills, California.
Well. Little Jackie Bennett. He's a cute kid. What's the little rascal got to say?
He says, Dear Santa Claus, have been a good boy all year, so when I give a party Christmas Eve, will you please send Clark Abel and Carol Lombard, Robert Taylor, and Barbara Salmon?
Let's see that letter. There's nothing of the kind. Well, goodbye, darling. It's getting late, and I must be going.
Can I go with you?
That's fine. I got one night out a year. My wife wants to go along. Nothing doing. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye. Oh, Santa, just one more thing.
What is it?
When you get to Ann Sheridan's house, just fill her stocking and git.
Oh, don't be so jealous. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Who can that be?
Come in.
Special delivery for Santa Claus.
Right here, boy. Well, it's from little Tubby Wilson, 834 Blimp Avenue, Van Nuys, California.
What does he say?
He says,
Dear Santa Claus, I have been a good boy all year, but I don't want a sled and I don't want roller skates.
Oh.
Just give me some Jell-O in all 6 delicious flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and wine.
Well.
Yours truly, Chins Wilson.
Well, there's the first kitty I'm going to take care of. So long, honey. I'll be home in the morning.
Okay, bring some cinnamon rolls.
I will. Goodbye. Get at you, reindeer. Come on, Donner. Giddy up, Lipton. Buck Santa rides again. John, that was marvelous. That's one of the best plays you've ever written.
I thought you'd like it, Jack. And by the way, what did you think of that surprise finish when I asked for Jell-O?
Oh, Don, it was such a shock. Gee, I never dreamed you were going to mention our product. And now, folks...
Gee, I knew what he was getting at all the time.
Oh, hello, Dennis. I didn't hear you come in.
Well, I didn't trip over anything today.
Oh. Well, Dennis, I don't want to rush you, but Don's play reminded me I still have a lot of Christmas shopping to do, so go ahead with your number and I'll run along.
Can I go with you, Jack? I've got some stuff to buy, too.
Sure, come on, Mary. Oh, Don, you and Phil take care of the rest of the program, will you?
Sure, Jack, we'll carry on. Here's a Lulu, folks. A tramp went up to a farmhouse, knocked on the door, and said, "Can I have a piece of cake, lady? It's my birthday."
Phil, wait till I get out. With those 1912 wows. Go ahead and sing, Dennis. I'll see you next week.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Mr. Bennett, could I speak to you a minute?
Of course, Dennis. What is it?
Well, it's a little personal. I'd like to talk to you in private.
Well, you can tell me right here. What's on your mind?
Well, Mr. Benny, my mother...
Yes?
I don't know how to say it.
Go on, Dennis. Don't be bashful.
Well, my mother told me to ask you, when are you going to start paying me for singing here?
Oh, well, that's strange. I take care of you every week, don't I, Dennis?
Yes. But, gee, we got enough Jell-O now for 25 years.
Oh. Well, look, Dennis, you go back in and sing your song. I'll think it over.
I wish you would. Our house is so full of boxes we can't walk around.
Well, just leave it to me and everything will be all right. Come on, Mary. burns me up. I never got paid till I was 28 years old.
And now, folks, Dennis Day, our young tenor, will sing a beautiful number called Tomorrow Night. Sing, Dennis.
Tomorrow night, will you remember what you said tonight? Tomorrow night, will all the thrill be gone? Tonight is filled with 1,001 delights, and you are saying this is the night of nights. And while I'm holding you here in the soft moon glow, there's only one thing I'd give the world to know. Tomorrow night, will you remember what you said tonight? Tomorrow night, will all the thrill be gone? Tomorrow night, will this be just another memory? Another song that wouldn't linger on? Tonight your lips are tender, your heart is beating fast. You willingly surrender, but darling, will it last? Tomorrow night, will you be with me when the moon is bright? And will you say the things you said tonight? Will you remember then the things you said tonight?
Gee, the store is crowded. Everybody doing their Christmas shopping the last minute. Stick close to me, Mary. Here, I'll take your arm.
Let go of me, you masher.
Oh, pardon me, miss. It's so crowded here, I thought you were someone else.
That's what they all say.
Mary, where are you?
Here I am, right behind you. Who's your girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend. I don't even know her.
Well, it ain't your fault, Gary.
I said I was sorry, miss. Now stay close to me, Mary. Have you got my Christmas list?
Yes, here it is.
What does it say?
Dear Jackie boy, I waited for you in the Owl drugstore last night.
The list is on the other side. Read it.
Wait a minute, who's Gladys?
Never mind. Give me that list. Let's see, I got to get some perfume for my sister and a watch for Don Wilson and a mink coat for Gladys.
Which will turn out to be Perfume.
Don't be so sure. Now, let's see, I got to take care of Phil, and I got to get something nice for Dennis.
I know what Dennis is giving you, Jack.
What?
A pair of socks.
Pair of socks? What a little tightwad. Bet that kid's got the first box of Jell-O he ever earned. Well, I'll get Don's present first. I wonder where the watch department is.
Let's ask the floor walker.
Yeah, there's one over there. This must be him. Pardon me, are you the floor walker?
Yes, I'm the floor walker. What do I look like, a telephone booth?
Well, how do I know you haven't got a carnation on?
It's in my pocket. I detest them.
Now, listen, buddy.
Just tell him what you want, Jack.
Now, listen, buddy, if it won't tax your mentality too much, will you please direct me to the watch department?
No, I won't.
Well, if you don't tell me where it is, I won't buy a watch.
What do I care? It's not for me.
It's the last time I'll ever come to this store.
Oh, Jack, there's the watch counter right over there.
You stool pigeon.
guy. I don't know how he holds his job here. Come on, Mary, give me your arm.
Hey, you, let go of me.
Oh, it's you again.
Will you stop following me around?
Well, I thought...
It's no use. I'm engaged.
Well, I pity the fella. Come on, Mary. She thinks I'm trying to make a date with her.
Your approach is awful.
Well, Gladys doesn't think so. Here's the watch counter.
How do you do, sir? Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to look at a watch, please.
Bulliver, pullover, or schmulliver?
Just a watch. Just a watch, a man's wristwatch.
Well, let's see. Now, here's our new Venus de Milo model. No hands on it.
No hands on it. Well, how do you tell time?
Nearly everybody asks me that, but they sell like hotcakes.
Well, it's cute, all right, but I like something a little more practical.
Oh, Jack, I'm going over and do my own shopping. See you later.
Okay.
Now, here's a very smart clock, and it's only $25.
A clock? Well, I really wanted a watch.
But this is a real bargain. Yesterday, the same clock sold for $1,250.
My goodness, how could you afford to cut it from $1,250 to $25?
We took the Buick off.
Oh, it wasn't a car. Well, I just like a wristwatch, please. Oh, here's something cute. How much is this one?
$10.
Well, that's just what I want. I'll take it. Here's your money.
Thank you.
Say, this is a beauty, all right.
It certainly is. And you know it has that new unbreakable crystal. Here, try it out.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Go ahead. Take this little hammer and hit it.
Oh, all right.
Shall I wrap it up now?
Wrap it up? You mean sweep it up. And give me back my $10.
I'm sorry. You'll have to see the floor walker about that.
What?
Oh, Mr. Chambers.
What is it, Miss Kelsey?
This man broke a watch with a hammer. He broke this watch with a hammer, and now he wants his money back.
Well, certainly I broke the watch, but she told me to.
She told you to?
Yes.
Well, haven't you got a mind of your own?
Well, certainly I have a mind of my own, but this young lady told me it was unbreakable.
Young? Why, she's 42 if she's a day.
We're not arguing about that. I want my $10 back.
Give it to him, Miss Kelsey, before he bites somebody.
Yes.
Here's your money. Boy, what a sore loser.
Well, certainly a fine store to do business with.
You walked in, Sugarfoot. Nobody dragged you.
Oh, quiet. Now, where the dickens is Mary?
Your daughter is over there at the hosiery counter.
She's not my daughter. More trouble buying a little watch. Now, what's Mary buying?
I like this shade. I'll take a half a dozen pair of those 2-thread hose. You're wrong, lady. This hose is 3 thread. Oh, no, it's 2 thread. I beg your pardon, but it's 3 thread. Listen, sister, don't argue with me. Not so long ago, I was standing right where you are.
That's telling her, Mary.
Oh, hello, Jack. You get a watch for Don?
Yes, but I broke it with a hammer. It's a long story. Let's go over to the perfume counter. Go over to the perfume counter.
Okay. Shall I wrap up these stockings, miss? Yes, I'll be back later. Oh, by the way, who's pitching for your softball team now?
Mary, you can talk shop later. Come on. Oh, Mary, here comes that girl who thought I was trying to flirt with her.
Yeah.
Watch me have some fun with her. Hello, sweetie pie. Out! Here, Mary, hold my coat.
Oh, Jack, you're in a store.
Lucky for her, believe me.
Here's the perfume counter.
I see it. Pardon me, sir. I'd like to buy some perfume.
Okay, mister, what kind of perfume would you like?
Well, I don't know. What's popular right now?
Well, now, here's something that's exotic, yet on a delicate side.
Oh.
It's called Lamaua Tujawa Lamaua.
Well, let me see that. It smells lovely.
It ain't bad to drink either.
Well, I really don't care how it tastes. You see, I'm buying it for my sister.
Oh, is she on the wagon?
No, she just doesn't drink perfume. She's eccentric. Anyhow, it has an exquisite scent. How much is this?
2 clams a slug.
Oh, that's reasonable enough. Do you think I ought to take a bottle of this, Mary?
Certainly.
Mary. Well, wrap it up, and I'll drop in on my way out.
Okay, pal.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to seem impertinent, but how does a fellow like you happen to be selling perfume?
I'm the only mug in the joint that can speak French.
Oh. Well, see you later. Goodbye.
Au revoir, pal.
Quite a character. Let's see, what's next on the list, Mary?
You got to get something for Phil and Dennis.
Yeah, let's walk over to the necktie department.
Oh, Jack, look.
What?
There's Rochester buying some neckties.
Oh, yeah, and that floor walker's waiting on him. They sure are busy here.
I'll bet Rochester's getting a tie for you.
Let's sneak up behind him.
Well, I think this tie is beautiful. It's very unusual.
Yes, but I don't think my boss would like it. It ain't his style.
I see. What type of man is your boss?
Well, he's kind of tall, medium weight, and rather conservative.
You mean conservative in appearance?
It goes deeper than that.
Well, at least he's subtle.
Quiet, I want to hear this.
Now, here's a rich-looking tie. Maybe he'd like this one.
Yeah, that's a pretty thing. How much is it?
It's only $3.50.
How much?
$3.50.
Too bad he didn't like that one.
Oh, fine.
Well, if you don't want to spend quite so much, here's a lovely tie for 89 cents.
89 cents?
That's right.
Now the blue of your tie meets the gold of my purse.
Can you imagine that?
Of course, it may be a little too plain for your boss. Is he a young man?
No.
Is he middle-aged?
No.
Is he elderly?
Wrap it up.
Rochester Van Jones.
Oh, hello, boss. I didn't see you.
I know you didn't, and don't be buying me any 89-cent tie.
You keep out of this.
I will not. This fellow works for me. Now, look, Rochester, you've been with me 3 years now, and I've been very nice to you. I've always tried to make things pleasant for you and keep you happy.
Is that open for discussion?
No, it isn't. I'm leaving you here at this necktie counter, and I want you to decide for yourself whether or not I'm worth more than an 89-cent tie. Come on, Mary, let's go.
Okay.
Mary, which tie do you think Rochester's going to buy me? The one for $3.50 or the 89-cent one?
Well, if you were Rochester, which one would you buy?
I'll fire that guy. Play, Phil.
They say, ladies and gentlemen, that it isn't good manners to point, but there really is one time when it is all right. And that's when you see Jell-O butterscotch pudding on your grocer's shelf. Every day, thousands of discriminating housewives make this new dessert a regular part of their marketing. And they serve it often because it's an all-family favorite, with its rich, buttery, brown sugar goodness and its tempting, deep golden color. Served with nuts, fruits, marshmallows, shredded coconut, or with just a big dab of snowy whipped cream, Jell-O butterscotch pudding is absolutely tops. And the same goes for Jell-O vanilla and Jell-O chocolate puddings. So add these brand new, grand new desserts to your menu often. You can serve them time and time again in a variety of delightful ways with no risk of tiring the family's taste. Tomorrow when you're at the grocer's, just point to Jell-O puddings and watch them point the way to a real treat.
We're a little late, so good night, folks.
J-E-L-L-O.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Goody Goodbye. You know, this coming Friday is the first official day of winter, and during the dark, blustery days ahead, You'll find nothing lights up the dinner table like the gay glint of orange Jell-O served as a bright, tempting salad or dessert. But suppose you live in Florida or sunny California, where you don't have to worry about dark winter days. Well, orange Jell-O is still your dish, for its cheerful color reflects the sunshine, and its extra-rich flavor rivals the tempting goodness of the real ripe fruit itself. Or try a tempting sea green mold of lime Jell-O served with slices of canned pineapple. Or what would you say to lemon Jell-O, as golden as sunshine, with stewed figs and whipped cream folded in to make a delicious creamy fig pudding? Why, there are dozens of grand ways to serve Jell-O, each one a creation that will climax the meal. So stock up on Jell-O tomorrow and look for the big red letters on the box when you buy. They spell Jell-O in 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. That was Goody Goodbye, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you our worn-out master of ceremonies. Between his broadcast at NBC, his picture at Paramount, and his Christmas shopping at the 5 and 10, he's the busiest little man in Hollywood, Jack Bennett.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Tilly the Toiler talking. And, Don, you're right. I don't ever remember being as rushed as I've been this past week. I'm a wreck.
I can appreciate that, Jack.
You know, when I got home last night, I was so exhausted I didn't have the energy to go upstairs. I slept all night on the billiard table.
My goodness, you must have been tired.
I was, Don. I rolled and tossed and tossed and rolled till almost daylight.
Restless, huh?
No, I forgot to take the balls off the table. I didn't mind that so much, but Rochester charged me 60 cents an hour. It's his table. Belongs to him, you know. What a night, huh?
Well, if you're tired, Jack, it's your own fault. Radio keeps you busy enough. What are you making a picture for?
That's what I can't figure out, Don. I can't understand Paramount putting me in another picture so soon. I'm not tired of my last one yet. I've seen it so many times, I won 8 Plymouths. Anyway, I'm making another one now.
Well, Jack, tell me something about your new picture. Is it a light, sophisticated comedy like Man About Town?
Oh, no, Don. This is a Western, a real rip-snorting melodrama full of action and thrills.
Well, that's a surprise. How did they happen to cast you in that type of story?
Well, you see, Gary Cooper isn't at Paramount anymore, and they seem to think that I'm the one to take his place.
What was that, Jack?
I said Paramount seems to think I'm the only one at the studio that can take Gary Cooper's place.
Well, so long, Don. See you later.
Mary, come back here. There's nothing ridiculous about my playing parts like Gary Cooper.
What are you talking about? In the first place, Gary Cooper's better looking than you are.
Well, a little makeup will take care of my looks.
And he's younger than you are.
Mary, makeup will help me there, too.
And he's a great actor. Put some mascara on that.
Listen, my critical friend, I can play those strong Western types, too. I can talk through my teeth just like Gary Cooper.
What do you mean, your teeth?
Mary, possession is 9 points of the law. Anyway, wait till you see the picture, young lady. You'll change your mind.
Say, Jack, is Phil Harris in this one, too?
Yes, Don, he's in it, but I can't understand why. He must have something on the director. I wished I knew what it was. I'd like to get some more lines. I'd like to get that one straight.
Good idea.
Oh, well, I'll just snoop around, you know.
Well, how is Phil in it, Jack? Has he got a pretty big part?
You'd think so to see him strut around on the set. He's such a ham, Don, and yet he tries to be so democratic.
What do you mean?
Well, he's got a sign on the back of his chair that says, Phil Harris, never too busy to say hello. Isn't that corny?
Well, Jack, I guess that's just his way of being a good fellow.
I know, Don, but it's so hammy, all those words on there. Now, all I got on the back of my chair is just Jack Bennett, and right under it, a simple little star. Why overdo it? Well, anyway, besides Phil, there's Ellen Drew, Ward Bond, Andy Devine, and oh, yes, Rochester's in the picture. I forgot.
You'll remember when it comes out.
Listen, Mary, I'm the hero. That's good enough for me. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Gary.
Gary?
And I do mean Indiana. Pretty sharp, eh?
Oh, that was a honey. How long did it take you to think that one up, Phil?
Came to me like a flash. All my stuff is impromptuous.
That's impromptu. And incidentally, Phil, I wish you'd stop telling everybody at Paramount that you're playing the part of my son. It's not true. Besides, it takes away from the romance.
Some romance. I read the script, and in the end, Jack marries a cow.
That's cowgirl. If you'd have turned the page, you'd have seen the word girl. Anyway, this is radio, so let's forget about pictures. We can talk about something else.
Hey, Jackson, as long as we're changing the subject, how about paying off that bet you welched on?
What bet?
That bet we made on the USC-UCLA game. Come on, pay off.
Phil, I'd pay off if I owed you anything, but that game was a tie.
Sure it was a tie, but you took USC and gave me 7 points.
I don't care if I gave you 50 points. The score was nothing to nothing. That means I get nothing and you get nothing. Now get your band together and play a number.
I don't want to interfere, Jack, but if you gave Phil 7 points, he won that bet and you ought to pay him.
Certainly you ought to pay him.
Why, of course.
Oh. All right, Phil, all right. Here's a quarter. Now leave me alone. Oh, what a guy.
Thanks, Jackson. Here's your change.
Thanks. Now go ahead and play, you sorehead. Next time I gamble with you, I'm going to have it in writing. That was Make with the Kisses, played by a miser and his orchestra. Miser, Phil, meaning a man who thinks more of 15 cents than he does of my friendship. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
All right, if that's the way you feel about it, Jackson, here's your money back.
It's not the money, Phil. I just don't think I lost that bet.
You don't think you lost on Hoover.
Mary, I conceded that months ago. We're talking about the football game.
The trouble with you is you don't know anything about gambling. You're just a poor sport.
I'm a poor sport. That's a hot one. For your information, Phil, I had an uncle who was one of the most famous gamblers in Waukegan. Why, he'd bet $1,000 on the turn of a card.
I bet he was an uncle by marriage.
No, his name was Benny. Stand back, you bother me, boys. Benny. So keep that 15 cents, Mr. Small Fry. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Oh, Jack, don't forget about, you know.
I'm coming to that, Don. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas being just a week off, Mr. Don Wilson, that eminent American author, has written another of his famous one-act plays. Take it, Don.
The time, ladies and gentlemen, is the night before Christmas. The scene is the home of Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus at the North Pole. Mr. Jack Benny will be Santa Claus.
Yes!
Never mind, Mary. With a beard, no one will know the difference. Go ahead, Don.
The North Pole. Curtain. Music.
La 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 la.
Oh, Santa. Santa.
What do you want there?
You better get started pretty soon. The reindeers are all hitched and everything.
Well, I got a few more letters here, and I got to see that the kiddies want before I put my bag in the sleigh.
I'll help you. Here's a letter from Encino, California. It's from a kid named Philip Harris.
Tear it up.
But Santa, he says he's been a good little boy.
Good little boy. Why, last Christmas I got to his house around 5 a.m., and he was just getting home. Not only that, he threw snowballs at me.
There's no snow in Encino.
He didn't know it. Well, what does little Philip want from Santa Claus?
14 points in Tennessee.
Well, he'll never get it.
Oh, Santa, here's a letter from Rochester Van Jones, Jr. in Central Avenue, California.
Rochester Van Jones. What does he want?
He says, Dear Santa, please send me a sled, a pair of roller skates, and a bottle of gin.
Well,
P.S. If you haven't got the sled and the roller skates, no hard feelings.
I'll see what I can do. Any more kiddies to be heard from?
Yes, here's one from Jackie Benny, Beverly Hills, California.
Well, little Jackie Benny. He's a cute kid. What's the little rascal got to say?
He says, Dear Santa Claus, have been a good boy all year, so when I give a party Christmas Eve, will you please send Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, Robert Taylor, and Barbara Stanwyck, Tyrone
Let's
Flowers...
see that letter. Says nothing of the kind. Well, goodbye, darling. It's getting late, and I must be going.
Can I go with you?
That's fine. I got one night out a year. My wife wants to go along. Nothing doing. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye. Oh, Santa, just one more thing.
What is it?
When you get to Ann Sheridan's house, just fill her stocking and git.
Oh, don't be so jealous. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Who can that be?
Come in.
Special delivery for Santa Claus.
Right here, boy. Well, it's from little Tubby Wilson, 834 Blimp Avenue, Van Nuys, California.
What does he say?
He says,
Dear Santa Claus, I have been a good boy all year, but I don't want a sled and I don't want roller skates. Just give me some Jell-O in all 60 wishes favors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and wine.
Well,
yours truly, Cuddles Wilson.
Well, there's the first kitty I'm going to take care of. So long, honey. I'll be home in the morning.
Okay, and stay away from the Wilshire Bowl.
I will. Goodbye. Get up, you reindeer. Come on, Donner. Giddy up, Blitzen. Buck Santa rides again. Don, that was marvelous. That's one of the best plays you've ever written.
I thought you'd like it, Jack. And by the way, what did you think of that surprise finish when I asked for Jell-O?
Oh, Don, it was such a shock. I never expected it. And now, folks...
Gee, I knew what he was getting at all the time.
Oh, hello, Dennis. I didn't hear you come in.
Well, my shoes don't squeak anymore.
Well, Dennis, I don't want to rush you, but Don's play reminded me I still have a lot of Christmas shopping to do, so go ahead with your number and I'll run along.
Can I go with you, Jack? I've got some stuff to buy, too.
Sure, come on, Mary. Oh, Don, you and Phil take care of the rest of the program, will you?
Sure, Jack. We'll carry on.
Here's a Lulu, folks. When I was in Asia, I slept in an attic. Darn those Asiatics.
Phil, wait till I get out! For heaven's sake. Stop with those 1912 Thunderbolts. Go ahead and sing, Dennis. I'll see you next week.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, could I speak to you a minute?
Of course, Dennis. What is it?
Well, it's a little personal, and I'd like to talk to you in private.
You can tell me right here. What's on your mind?
Well, Mr. Benny, my mother...
Yes? Go ahead.
I don't know how to say it.
Go on, Dennis. Don't be bashful.
Well, my mother told me to ask you, when are you going to start paying me for singing here?
Oh, well, that's strange. I take care of you every week, don't I, Dennis?
Yes. But, gee, we got enough Jell-O now for 25 years.
Oh, well, look, Dennis, you go back in and sing your song. I'll think it over.
I wish you would. Our house is so full of boxes, we can't walk around.
Well, just leave it to me, and everything will be all right. Come on, Mary. His mother burns me up. She hasn't even paid me for a Christmas card yet. Oh, well.
And now, folks, Dennis Day, our young tenor, will sing a beautiful number called Tomorrow Night. Sing, Dennis.
Tomorrow night, will you remember what you said tonight? Tomorrow night, will all the thrill be gone? Tonight is filled with 1,001 delights, and you are saying this is a night of nights. And while I'm holding you here in the soft moon glow, there's only one thing I'd give the world to know. Tomorrow night, will you remember what you said tonight? Tomorrow night, will all the thrill be gone? Tomorrow night, will this be just another memory? Another song that wouldn't linger on. Tonight your lips are tender, your heart is beating fast. You willingly surrender, but darling, will it last? Tomorrow night, will you be with me when the moon is bright? And will you say the things you said tonight? Will you remember then the things you said
Gee, the store is crowded. Everybody doing their Christmas shopping the last minute. Stick close to me, Mary. Here, I'll take your arm.
Let go of me, you masher.
Oh, pardon me, miss. It's so crowded here. I thought you were someone else.
Oh, tell that to the Marines.
I don't even know any. Mary, where are you?
Here I am, right behind you. Who's your girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend.
Well, you tried hard enough, Gary.
I said I was sorry, miss. Now stay close to me, Mary. Have you got my Christmas list?
Yes, here it is.
What does it say?
Dear Jackie boy, I waited for you in the Owl Drugstore
The
last
list
night.
is on the other side. Read it.
Wait a minute. Who's Gladys?
She's the pin girl at the bowling alley. You've seen her 1,000,000 times. Now give me that list. Let's see, I got to get some perfume for my sister, a watch for Don Wilson, and I got to take care of Phil, and I got to get something nice for Dennis.
I know what Dennis is giving you, Jack.
What?
A pair of socks.
Pair of socks? What a little tightwad. Bet that kid's got the first box of Jell-O he ever earned. Well, I'll get Don's present first. I wonder where the watch department is.
Let's ask the floor walker.
Yeah, there's one. This must be him. Pardon me, are you the floor walker?
Yes, I'm the floor walker. What do I look like, a telephone booth?
Well, how do I know? You haven't got a carnation on.
I had one, but I ripped it to pieces.
Now, listen, buddy.
Just tell him what you want, Jack.
Listen, buddy, if it won't tax your mentality too much, will you please direct me to the watch department?
No, I won't.
Well, if you don't tell me where it is, I won't buy a watch.
What do I care? It's not for me.
Well, it's the last time I'll ever come to this store.
Oh, Jack, there's the watch counter right over there.
You stool pigeon.
What a guy. I don't know how he holds his job here. Come on, Mary, give me your arm.
Hey, you let go of me.
Oh, it's you again.
following me around?
Well, I thought that...
It's no use. I'm engaged.
Well, I pitied the fella. Come on, Mary. She thinks I'm trying to make a date with her.
You've done worse.
Never mind. Here's the watch counter.
How do you do, sir? Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to look at a watch, please.
Bullover, pullover, or schmullover?
Just a watch, a man's wristwatch.
Well, let me see. Now, here's our new Venus de Milo model. No hands on it.
No hands on her? Well, how do you tell time?
Call Ulrich 8900.
Well, that's too complicated. I'd like to get something a little more practical, you know?
Jack, I'm going over to do my own shopping. See you later.
Okay.
Now, here's a very smart clock, and it's only $25.
A clock? Well, I really wanted a watch.
But this is a real bargain. Yesterday, this same clock sold for $1,250.
Well, my goodness, how could you afford to cut it from $1,250 to $25?
We took the Buick off.
Oh, it was in a car. Huh? Well, I'd just like a wristwatch, please. Oh, here's something cute. How much is this one?
$10.
Well, that's just what I want. I'll take it. Here's your money.
Thank you.
Hey, this is beauty, all right.
It certainly is. And you know it has that new unbreakable crystal. Here, try it out.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Go ahead. Take this little hammer and hit it.
Oh, all right.
Shall I wrap it up now?
Wrap it up? You mean sweep it up. And give me back my $10.
I'm sorry. You'll have to see the floor walker about that.
What?
Oh, Mr. Chambers.
What is it, Miss Kelsey?
This man broke a watch with a hammer, and he wants his money back.
Well, certainly I broke the watch, but she told me to.
She told you to?
Yes.
Well, haven't you got a mind of your own?
Certainly I have a mind of my own, but this young lady told me it was unbreakable.
Young? Why, she's 42 if she's a day.
We're not arguing about that. I want my $10 back.
Oh, give it to him, Miss Kelsey, before he bites somebody.
Yes.
Here's your money. Boy, what a sore loser.
Well, certainly a fine store to do business with.
You walked in, Sugarfoot. Nobody dragged you.
Oh, quiet. Now, where the dickens is Mary?
Your daughter is over there at the hosiery counter.
She's not my daughter. More trouble buying a little watch. What's Mary buying?
I like this shade. I'll take a half a dozen pair of those 2-thread hose. You're wrong, lady. This hose is 3 threads. Oh, no, it's 2 threads. I beg your pardon, but it's 3 threads. Listen, sister, don't argue with me. Not so long ago, I was standing right where you are.
That's telling her, Mary.
Oh, hello, Jack. Did you get a watch for Don?
Yes, but I broke it with a hammer. It's a long story. Let's go over to the perfume counter.
Okay. Shall I wrap up these stockings, miss? Yes, I'll be back later. Oh, by the way, who's pitching for your softball team now?
Mary, you can talk shop later. Come on. Oh, Mary, here comes that girl who thought I was trying to flirt with her.
Yeah.
Watch me have some fun with her. Hello, sweetie pie. Ouch! Here, Mary, hold my coat.
Oh, Jack, you're in a store.
Lucky for her, believe me.
Here's the perfume counter.
I see it. Pardon me, sir. I'd like to buy some perfume.
Okay, mister, what kind of perfume would you like?
Well, I don't know. What's popular right now?
Well, now, here's something that's exotic, yet you can smell it a mile. It's called Lamauer Tujawa Lamauer.
Well, let me see that. It does smell lovely.
It ain't bad to drink either.
Well, I I really don't care how it tastes. You see, I'm buying it for my sister.
Oh, is she on the wagon?
No, she just doesn't drink perfume. She's eccentric. Anyhow, it has an exquisite scent. How much is this?
2 clams a slug.
Oh, that's reasonable enough. Do you think I ought to take a bottle of this, Mary?
Certainly.
Mary. Well, wrap it up, and I'll drop by on my way out.
Okay, pal.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to seem impertinent, but how does a fellow like you happen to be selling perfume?
I'm the only mug in a joint that can speak French.
Oh. Well, we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Au revoir, pal.
Quite a character. Let's see, what's next on the list, Mary?
You got to get something for Phil and Dennis.
Yeah, let's walk over to the necktie department there.
Oh, Jack, look.
What?
There's Rochester buying some neckties.
Oh, yeah, and that floor walker's waiting on him. They sure are busy here.
I'll bet Rochester's getting a tie for you.
Let's sneak up behind him.
Well, I think this tie is beautiful. It's very unusual.
Yes, but I don't think my boss would like it. It ain't his style.
I see. Well, what type of man is your boss?
Well, he's kind of tall, medium weight, and rather conservative.
You mean he's conservative in appearance?
It goes deeper than that.
Well, at least he's subtle.
Quiet, I want to hear this.
Now, here's a rich-looking tie. Maybe he'd like this one.
Yeah, that's a pretty thing. How much is it?
It's only $3.50.
How much?
$3.50.
Too bad. He'd have liked that one.
Oh, fine.
Well, if you don't want to spend quite so much, here's a lovely tie for 89 cents.
89 cents?
That's right.
The deal is practically closed.
Can you imagine that?
Of course, it may be a little too plain for your boss. Is he a young man?
No.
Is he middle-aged?
No.
Is he elderly?
Wrap it up.
Rochester Van Joan.
Oh, hello, boss. I didn't see you.
I know you didn't. And don't be buying me any 89-cent tie.
You keep out of this.
I will not. This fellow works for me. Now, look, Rochester, you've been with me 3 years now, and I've been very nice to you. I've always tried to make things pleasant for you and keep you happy.
Is that open for discussion?
No, it isn't. Now, I'm leaving you here at this necktie counter, and I want you to decide for yourself whether or not I'm worth more than an 89-cent tie. Come on, Mary, let's go.
Okay.
Hey, Mary, which tie do you think Rochester's going to buy me? The one for $3.50 or the 89-cent one?
Well, if you were Rochester, which one would you buy?
I'll fire that guy. Play, Phil.
They say, ladies and gentlemen, that it isn't good manners to point. But there really is one time when it is all right, and that's when you see Jell-O butterscotch pudding on your grocer's shelf. Every day, thousands of discriminating housewives make this new dessert a regular part of their marketing. And they serve it often because it's an all-family favorite, with its rich, buttery, brown sugar goodness and its tempting, deep golden color. Served with nuts, fruits, marshmallows, shredded coconut, or with just a big dab of snowy whipped cream, Jell-O butterscotch pudding is absolutely tops. And the same goes for Jell-O vanilla and chocolate puddings. So add these 3 grand new desserts to your menu often. You can serve them time and time again in a variety of delightful ways, with no risk of tiring the family's taste. Tomorrow, when you're at the grocer's, just point to Jell-O puddings and watch them point the way to a real treat.
We're a little late, so good night, folks.
J-E-L-L-O.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
J-E-L-L-O.
The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with a happy, happy holiday. 'Twas the night before Christmas. I sat by the fire. I filled up my pipe, turned the radio higher. The hour was 12 by the clock on the stair. A few moments more, and St. Nick would be there. When out on the airwaves there rose such a clatter, I grabbed for the dial to see what was the matter. And what to my wondering ears should I hear but the sound of sleigh bells and a voice ringing clear? Now strawberry, now raspberry, now lemon and lime. On cherry, on orange, we haven't much time. A noise on the roof, and then, quick as a flash, out of the radio, burst with a crash, a gay-looking, cheerful, and merry-faced fellow, shaking with laughs like a bowl full of Jell-O. He spoke not a word, but working like Ned, filled all the stockings. Then, turning his head, he gave me a wink as he shook his white beard. Then, back in the radio, he disappeared. He sprang to his sleigh, and he gave a loud cry, and away they all flew like snow in the sky. But I heard him call back as he raced down the glen, "Merry Christmas, dear people. Merry Christmas again." That was a happy, happy holiday played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as is always his custom on Christmas Eve, Jack Benny is holding open house tonight for all the members of his cast. So without further ado, we whisk you to Jack's home in Beverly Hills. Take it away.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Work all night and work all day, never get no pay. Jingle bells, jingle
Rochester.
bells.
If you got any complaints to make, don't sing them.
I tried everything else.
Never mind. Now, as soon as you get those packages wrapped, put them over here under the tree. The gang will be here pretty soon.
Okay, boss.
Now, wait a minute, Rochester. Why is this side of the tree so bare? What happened to all the ornaments?
Your ostrich had lunch.
Oh, she ate them, eh? I thought I told you to lock Trudy up in the garage with Carmichael.
I did, and boss, your Maxwell is now completely covered with fur and feathers.
Good. We'll enter it in the Rose Bowl parade. Where's Trudy now?
She's out in the kitchen laughing at the turkey.
She is, eh? Well, I hope she doesn't annoy Swing High.
She better not. Them Chinese can cook anything.
Well, as soon as you're through here, get Trudy out of the kitchen. Now, hurry up with those presents.
Okay. Say, boss.
What?
Who's this leather belt for?
Oh, that belt is for Don Wilson.
My, long ain't it?
Well, Mr. Wilson isn't exactly shaped like an hourglass. And wrap it up nice for him. And look, Rochester, I wish you'd... What's that?
Here comes Trudy now.
Trudy! Trudy, come back here! Well, there goes my new Ming vase. Rochester, go out and catch that ostrich.
Boss, if I could run that fast, I'd be playing with UCLA.
Well, I'm not going to have Trudy running through the house. As soon as you get those packages finished,
Hello, Jack. Merry Christmas.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Miss Livingston.
Same to you, Rochester.
Mary, put your packages under the tree.
Okay. Say, Jack, who are you giving this oil painting to?
Beautiful, isn't it? I got that for Phil Harris.
An oil painting for Phil Harris? Are you crazy?
No, I'm not crazy. He's got a lovely apartment.
Sure, but he hasn't got a picture on the wall he didn't tear out of Esquire.
That's why I got Phil this painting. I'm trying to educate him. Look, Mary, it's a genuine Botticelli.
He won't like it unless there's a joke under it.
He'll appreciate it, all right. Say, Mary, when you came in, did you notice the way Rochester decorated the front of the house with holly and lights and everything? Isn't it something?
Yes. But gee whiz, Jack, you ought to take down that sign.
What sign?
The one that says, Merry Christmas, ostrich plumes, 15 cents.
Well, for heaven's sake, Rochester, did you put that sign up, ostrich plumes, 15 cents?
You told me to.
I did not. I merely said that's the price if anybody asks. I didn't tell you to advertise.
Shall I take the sign down, boss?
No, the damage is done now. Leave it up. But I want to see the books at the end of the week. Remember that.
Why, Jack, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. The idea of selling ostrich plumes.
Well, I have to do something to get even. Trudy eats everything in sight. She got in my bedroom the other day and ate my cufflinks, a box of cigars, and 2 hairbrushes.
The brushes you don't have to worry about.
I do, too. Those brushes were a present from Greta Garbo when I was working at MGM.
Oh, I remember. They were sent to your dressing room by mistake.
I don't care how I got them. I got them. It's the thought that counts. Anyway, that ostrich better stop eating things in my bedroom. It's costing me a fortune. What's so funny?
If she ever eats that green stuff out of your mattress, you'll be bankrupt.
Rochester, to hear you talk, you'd think I kept my entire life savings in my mattress.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't.
Then why do you stand there with a gun when I make the bed?
That's the only way I can get you to work, and you know it. Anyway, Mary, all Trudy needs is a little training. Well, there's somebody already. Come in.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Same to you, Dennis.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Day.
Put your packages under the tree, Dennis. We'll open them later.
Oh, Mother, isn't that a beautiful Christmas tree?
Yes, Dennis, it's lovely.
Thanks.
Gee, look at those popcorn balls hanging there. Can I have one, Mr. Benny?
Of course, Dennis. Help yourself.
Just put a dime under the tree.
That won't be necessary. This is Christmas. Well, Mrs. Day, I'm so glad you were able to come tonight. We've missed you on the program the last few weeks. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been very busy shopping and preparing for the holidays. You know how it is.
Yes, yes.
Jack told me you were wrestling in San Diego.
I said nothing of the kind. Don't try to start an argument between Mrs. Day and myself. We're very good friends now, aren't we, Lucretia?
Well, I'm standing under the mistletoe, if that's what you mean.
Not now, Lou. Later, when we play games.
Say, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
The man just came with the ice cream. It's $4.75.
Oh.
Have you got the cash with you, or shall I go upstairs and make the bid?
Never mind. Here's $5. Let him keep the change.
The whole quarter?
Yes.
Boss, while you're in this mood, I'd like to have a little talk with you.
Never mind. Give the man the money. Now, Mrs. Day, you'll have to excuse me. I still got to wrap up a few more packages. Do you mind?
Not at all. I'll be glad to help you.
Well, thank you. And, Dennis, while we're working, how about singing something for us to brighten things up? You know any Christmas carols?
Oh, sure. Lots of them.
Good. Let's hear one. Just a second. There's someone at the door. Come in. Well, hello, Don. Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Jack. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Well, Merry Christmas to you all.
Oh, Don, are all those packages for us?
Yes, sir. All 6 of them.
Well, put them under the tree. We'll open them later. Look, Mary, you can see the big red letters right through the paper. Here, Rochester, hang up Mr. Wilson's hat.
Yes, sir. Happy Yuletide, Mr. Wilson.
Well, the same to you, Rochester, and here's a little gift for you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you. Looks like a bottle.
Yes, Rochester, it is. It's hair tonic.
Oh. Well, a little White Rock will fix that up.
Put it under the tree. You can have it later. Now, go ahead, Dennis. Let's hear your song.
Okay, Mr. Benny.
Mrs. Day, will you tie a nice bow on this package here? It's for the... Oh, darn it.
Gang way, everybody. Here comes the 550.
Trudy! Trudy, come back here! There goes a goldfish bowl. Come on, Rochester. Let's get her.
My, what a household. Sing your song, Dennis.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the year are met in thee tonight. The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King no crib for his bed. The little Lord Jesus lay down his sweet head. The stars in the heavens looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep in the hay. The cattle are lowing, the poor babe awakes, but little Lord Jesus no crying he makes. I love thee, Lord Jesus. Look down from the sky and stay by my cradle to watch lullaby.
Dennis, those carols were lovely. You sang beautifully.
Thank you, Mrs. Day.
I'm your mother.
Oh.
Well, that's that.
Did you catch Trudy?
Yes, and Rochester's putting her in the basement. She won't bother us again. Say, I wish Phil and Andy'd get here. I'm getting hungry.
Me too. What are we going to have, Jack?
We're going to have turkey hash, Don. Delicious turkey hash.
Uh-oh.
What are you owing about?
They didn't move Thanksgiving back far enough.
Mary, this is not the same turkey.
Well, I think we're very lucky. I'd rather have turkey hash than roast ostrich any day.
Don, you're just being silly. In the first place, I haven't got a roaster big enough for an ostrich, and in the second place, they aren't good to eat. The meat is much too sinewy and fibrous to chew.
Oh, you looked it up, eh?
I didn't look it up. I just happen to know that.
Oh, Mr. Benny, did you invite any movie stars here tonight?
No, Mrs. Day, we're just having our own little gang. And listen, everybody, I got a big surprise for you. I wasn't going to tell you until they got here, but my sister Florence and her husband are driving in from Waukegan, and they're due here today.
Oh, your sister's coming. Well, this is a surprise.
And her husband, too, eh?
Yes, you remember him, Mary. You met him in Waukegan.
Oh, yeah. Is he the pool shark?
No, that's my cousin Boo Boo. Boo Boo Benny. The fellow that's coming here is my brother-in-law, Leonard Fenchel. He's an interior decorator.
An interior decorator, huh?
Yeah.
He's a paper hanger, and you know it.
Mary, he sells wallpaper on the side. He's got 1 million patterns.
Are they going to stay here at the house with you, Jack?
Oh, sure. You don't think they'd stay anywhere else, as my sister said in her letter. Anyway, they ought to be here any minute.
Doggone that bird, I'll teach her to nip me.
Rochester, I just want you to put her in the basement. What did you do to Trudy?
I ain't saying, but she's going to eat her dinner tonight, loop de loop.
Rochester, did you tie a knot in her neck again? Did you?
Well,
Rochester, did you tie a knot in Trudy's neck?
Just plain, no bow.
Well, don't you ever do that again. Now go downstairs and untie her before she chokes. Now hurry.
Okay, boss. I wish I knew a detour.
Rochester, I don't know what's the matter with that guy. Every time I get a pet, he has to... Come in, come in.
Hiya, Jackson. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hello, Phil. Well, Phil, I'm glad you brought all your boys with you. Come on in, men. Hey, put all your presents under the tree, fellas.
Oh, Jack, the orchestra boys are here, and you forgot to buy presents for them.
I did not. I got them a lovely gift. It's a very practical and something they can all use.
I'll bet it's a roller towel.
Well, it won't hurt them any. Now, hang your hats out in the hall, men, and say, Phil, how do you like the Christmas tree? Nice decorations, eh?
Oh, boy, look at those popcorn balls.
I knew you'd say it that way. Now, Phil, we're not going to open our presents until after dinner, but the one I got for you is so beautiful, I want everybody to see it. Go and get it, Mary.
Okay.
Wait till you see it, Phil. You'll love it.
It's for your apartment. Last year you gave me some cocktail glasses and you didn't even wash the cheese out. Well, I was rushed.
Here you are, Phil.
Yep, there you are, Phil. A beautiful oil painting. And it's for you.
Keep it.
You're welcome. Now, wait a minute. Phil, you don't realize that this is a masterpiece, a work of art.
Maybe you should have taken the calendar off.
There's no calendar on it. Look, Phil, this painting is The Birth of Venus by Botticelli.
I don't care if it's Whistler's wife. I don't want it.
That's Whistler's mother. And there's a guy that don't appreciate the real thing.
But, Jack, if this painting were an original Botticelli, it would cost you at least $100,000.
What do I care? It's Christmas. It only comes once a year. What if I do spend a little money?
Say, Jack.
What?
If you stay up there 8 hours, you can get a pilot's license.
Well, all right. If that's the way you all feel about it, I'll keep it myself. I'll go out of my way to get an unusual present. Come in.
Say, does Jack Benny live here?
Hello, Jack.
Florence Leonard. Well, 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 I thought you'd never get here. Florence, darling, how are you? Gee whiz.
Oh, you're looking grand, Jack.
You do, too, and so does Leonard.
Yeah, I'm fine. You're putting on a little weight, ain't you, Droopy?
Oh, a little here and there.
Well, you're eating more regular now.
Oh, fellas, this is my sister Florence and her husband Leonard.
How do you do? Oh, you look beautiful.
Well, Florence, how's Dad and Cousin Boo Boo and everybody? Eh?
Oh, they're fine. Everybody's swell.
That's good. Hey, Leonard, how do you like my new house? Pretty classy, eh?
The wallpaper stinks.
Oh, it does, eh?
Say, Florence, this is your first trip out to Hollywood, isn't it?
Yes, and I'm so happy for Leonard. He's just dying to meet all the movie stars.
So is Jack. They ought to get together.
Listen, Mary, I know plenty of big stars, and I'll introduce them to Leonard and Florence.
Do you know Ann Sheridan? Woo!
Oh, brother.
Leonard, will you behave yourself?
Oh, let him alone, Florence. He's having a good time.
That's right, Droopy.
Stop calling me Droopy. That was years ago. Well, folks, as soon as Andy gets here, we'll eat. You want to wash up a bit first, Leonard?
Yeah, where's the sink?
Oh, fine.
Leonard, you can clean up in my room, and I'll take you there in a minute. Gee, Florence, it's nice seeing you again. I'm glad you were able to come out.
Oh, I am too, Jack. Gee, it's been ages.
Now, tomorrow, I'm going to take you over to Paramount Studio, and you can watch me do a scene in my new picture.
Is Ann Sheridan in it? Woo-woo!
No, Leonard. Woo-woo! You're as bad as Cousin Boo Boo. Gee, I wish Andy'd get here. I'm hungry.
Me too. Why don't we eat now, Jack?
All right, let's do that. When Andy comes, he can join us. Come on, fellas. Let's all go in the dining room. Hey, Leonard. Leonard, what are you doing back there?
Look at this wallpaper. It don't hang right.
Leave it alone. It's all right.
No, it's too loose. Look.
Leonard, please. You're here on a vacation. I'll have to have that wall redone. Well, come on, fellas. Let's eat. See who that is, Rochester.
That must be Mr. Devine. Come in.
Come in. Trudy! Trudy, stay out of the dining room!
Doggone that African canary!
Trudy! Well, there goes my china closet. Rochester, lock her up in the garage with Carmichael.
Okay, boss.
Come on, folks, let's see. Florence, have some more of this hash. It's delicious.
Oh, no, thanks. I don't believe I can finish this.
Put some catsup on it. That helped mine.
Now, this is darn good food, Mary.
Leonard, I wish you'd please use your fork.
I've been using a knife for years and never cut myself yet. Hey, Mrs. Day?
Stop nudging me.
Hey, Phil, you're not eating. What's the matter? Aren't you hungry?
Yeah, but I can wait.
Well, I hope none of you eat too much. I want you to save room for the dessert, you know.
What are we having for dessert, Mr. Benny?
Tell him, Don.
Well, Dennis, what do you think we're having for dessert?
Jell-O.
I'll tell you what we're having, Dennis.
Don, he just guessed it.
For dessert tonight, Dennis, we're
Don.
having a shimmering dish of tempting, delicious strawberry Jell-O.
Don, it's
and
no
Jack
use.
got it
He
at his
guessed
neighborhood grocer by simply asking for genuine
Look,
Jell-O
he
and
just
looking for the
told
big red letters on the box.
Don, he knows.
So there you are, Dennis. What are we having for dessert?
I still think it's Jell-O.
You're right, Dennis, but you know how Don is. Well, folks, soon as you're through with dinner, we're all going to play games and have some fun.
So this is a Hollywood party, huh? Give me Waukegan anytime.
Leonard, will you please keep still?
This town is overrated.
Overrated? You've only been here 5 minutes.
And bragging about a swimming pool. I bet you haven't even got one.
Look out the window. What do you think that is in the backyard?
You call that a swimming pool? You ought to see Lake Michigan.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh, don't let Leonard upset you, Jack.
Florence, I told you about this guy 10 years ago, but you had to marry him. Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
This is my sister and brother-in-law. They're going to stay with us a while. They'll be using the guest room.
The guest room?
Yes.
Where's our boy going to sleep?
Mr. Billingsley will have to sleep in the den. He's behind anyway. Now get the room ready.
Okay. Bears, ostriches, relatives. Doggone, if I didn't have this address on my stationery, I'd move.
And then it's fancy stationery with a crest on it yet. Well, finish your dinner, everybody, and we'll play those games. Well, there's Andy at last. Come on in, Andy.
Hiya, Buck. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Andy. Glad to see you. Merry Christmas. Gee, I hope you don't mind, Andy. We started to eat without you.
Oh, that's all right, Buck. I am.
Say, Andy, I want you to meet my sister and brother-in-law, Mr. and Mrs. Fencho.
Well, howdy, folks.
How do you do, Mr. Devine?
Hello, Andy. How are you fixed for wallpaper?
Leonard! This is no time for business. Well, Andy, what do you got in that package?
A Christmas present my mom knitted for you.
Your ma? Well, that's sweet. What is it?
It's a combination sock, sweater, and ear lamp.
Sock, sweater, and ear laps? Well, how do you get into them?
I don't know, Buck. When Ma knits, she's nuts.
Oh, I guess you're right.
She knitted Pa a snood for his beard.
Well, that'll keep it up out of the soup. Anyway. Now, sit down, Andy. Have a cup of coffee, anyway.
Yeah, come on, Andy. Come on.
Okay, thanks. Say, Buck, before I forget it, did you hear Fred Allen Wednesday night?
No, I didn't, Andy. What did he say?
Sure ribbed you about that picture you two are going to make together.
What picture? I'm making one right now.
I heard him too, Jack. He's talking about your next picture. Didn't you know about it?
Oh, that's a lot of baloney.
No, it isn't, Jack. All the papers carried the story. It said that you and Fred Allen are going to do a picture together, and Mark Sandrich is directing it.
Mark Sandrich? Why, he's directing the one I'm making now.
Yes, and he's going to direct your next one with Fred Allen.
Oh, no, he isn't. I wouldn't make a tintype with that guy. Imagine me making a picture with Allen.
I ain't worried.
You keep out of there. I'm not worried either.
I don't know, Jackson. Allen's a pretty funny guy.
Oh, you're a great judge of comedy, Harris. How do you make a Venetian blind poke him in the eye? I heard you tell that one the other night. Anyway, I'm not doing any picture with Fred Allen.
What are you going to do about it, Jack?
I'll show you what I'm going to do. Mary, get me Mr. Sandrich on the phone. It's Crestview 15335.
Okay.
I'll tell him a thing or two.
You better take it easy, Jackson. Paramount's liable to throw you right out.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he'll be back hanging paper with me again.
I only did that one summer when vaudeville was bad. I'm not worried.
Hello? Mr. Sandrich? Droopy wants to talk to you.
Don't be smart. Give me that phone. I'll show him who's making a picture with Allen. Hello, Mr. Sandwich. This is Jack Benny. Merry Christmas. Now, look. What's the story going around about my making a picture with Fred Allen? Well, I'm doing nothing of the kind. Now, look, Mr. Sanders.
Good evening, Mr. Benny.
Oh, Mr. Billingsley, you'll sleep in the den until further notice.
Very well. Good night.
Good night. Now, look, Mr. Sanders. Now, look, I'm not through with the picture I'm making now. And if you put Al into my next one, I'm walking out. I said I'm liable to walk out. You know.
Some movie star.
Leonard. Now, for the last time, Mr. Sanders, I'm not making a picture with that anemic baboon. But, Mr. Sanders. Now, look, Mr. Sanders. Now, look. 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 Look.
Lights, tick, click, Saturday Evening Post.
Mary, please. Now, look, Mr. Sanders.
Ask him if he needs any wallpaper.
Do you need any wallpaper? Oh, shut up, Leonard. Not you, that's my brother-in-law. Now, Mr. Sanders, my objection to making a picture with Alan is this. In the first place, now look, Mr.
Here
Sanders.
comes Trudy, boss.
Trudy, well, get out of here. Now, in the first place, Mr. Sanders.
And Carmichael's after.
Carmichael, separate him, Rochester. Now, in the first place, Mr. Sanders. In the first place, Carmichael, leave Trudy alone. Trudy, come back here. Rochester, do something. Trudy, Carmichael. Look, Mr. Sanders. My objection to making a picture with Fred Allen. Now, Mr. Sanders.
I'd like to offer you folks tonight what I think is an ideal Christmas menu. The first course is hospitality. And remember, it must be warm. The entree is a heaping platter of kindness, garnished with such tender herbs as charity and tolerance. And let the dessert be faith, a simple but sustaining dish with a rich sauce of happiness and contentment. Now, there's a grand menu with 3 big advantages. It costs nothing, it pleases everybody, and you can serve it every day in the year. May it always be yours to enjoy, especially during this happy holiday season. The makers of Jell-O extend to you their very best wishes and heartiest greetings for a joyous Yuletide, filled to the brim with fun, feasting, peace, good health, and good cheer. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas.
Last number of the 12th program in the current Jell-O series, and we will be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. So Merry Christmas to you all from the whole gang. Good night, everybody.
J-E-L-L-O. Here's news. Every Tuesday night, the Aldrich Family is on the air, starring Ezra Stone as Henry Aldrich, that lovable hard-luck kid. Consult your local newspaper or radio guide for time and stations, and be sure to tune in on the Aldrich Family next Tuesday night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Do I Love You? I often think, ladies and gentlemen, that we should celebrate the end of a good meal the same way we celebrate the end of a good year on New Year's Eve. You know, with a smile, with lots of rejoicing and good cheer. Well, the happy ending to a meal merely calls for the right dessert, a swell topper offer like Jell-O. You can serve Jell-O in dozens of different ways, and no, it will be a grand success. For one thing, Jell-O looks so good, with its brilliant glowing colors that seem to say, here, you, pick up a spoon and begin. And for another thing, Jell-O tastes so grand because it has an exciting, extra-rich flavor, a flavor as refreshing and delightful as the real ripe fruit itself. Just be sure of one thing when you buy. Be sure to look for the name Jell-O on the package, for that name is a trademark. It's the property of General Foods, and it tells you here's the real thing. The one and only Jell-O. So remember, those big red letters spell Jell-O, and Jell-O spells a treat. was Do I Love You, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few short hours, we will welcome in the new year, 1940. So without further ado, we bring you a man who was once 19 and once 40, Jack Benny.
Jello again. This is Jack Benny, who is rapidly closing in on Social Security talking. And, Don, you can go right ahead and kid about my age because I'm not the least bit sensitive. Remember that famous saying, Don, a man is just as old as he feels.
How do you feel, Jack?
Ooh, Johnny. But I'm only joking, Don. I'm one guy who welcomes every new year. It brings new life, new hopes, new calendars. Boy, they sent me enough calendars this year to paper my living room.
Now, Jack, don't tell me you hung up all the calendars people sent you.
Why not, Don? They have gorgeous paintings on them. I got a honey from my tailor. It's a picture of a beautiful Italian girl sitting in a gondola with her reflection in the moonlit waters of the Grand Canal in Venice. Oh, it's a Lulu.
From your tailor, huh?
Yes, and right under the picture is this Italian girl's name, Pleaso Remitto. That's the most artistic hint I ever got. Huh?
You think it'll work?
I doubt it. When they get subtle with me, I burn up. And say, Don, I got the cutest calendar from that little restaurant down the street where I eat once in a while.
Oh, you mean Ginsberg's Hanging Gardens?
That's it. Well, their calendar has a picture of the restaurant, and right under it is their new slogan, Ginsberg's Grill, where the matzo ball meets the soup. Isn't that original?
It certainly is.
Hey, Jackson, did you get one of those calendars from the Wilshire Bowl?
No, Phil, I didn't.
You didn't get one with my picture on it?
Your picture on it?
Why, certainly, yeah, the one where I'm standing with a baton in my hand, leading a 75-piece Philharmonic orchestra.
No, what's the title of it?
It Can't Happen Here.
You said it. Phil, where did you ever have a picture taken with 75 musicians?
Ocean Park, they do it with mirrors.
I knew there was a trick to it. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Mary. Happy New Year.
What are y'all talking about?
Well, I was just telling Don and Phil about the calendars I got this year. Gee, I got them hanging in every room.
Did you tell them about the one you got from your life insurance company?
Oh, that silly thing. They got their nerve.
What was it, Mary?
Just a picture of a hand with two fingers crossed.
Hey, they aren't so worried. Say, I wonder who thinks up all those calendars.
They sent me a bunch of them, too. And, Jack, you ought to see the swell one I got from the May Company.
You got one from the May Company?
Yeah. There's a beautiful picture of the store, and right under it says, "Come back, all is forgiven."
Well, it's nice to know there's a job waiting for you just in case you get fresh tonight.
Well, I ought to get fresh after that Christmas present you sent me. A fine gift, a saucer.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. It might not look like much, but that saucer I gave you happens to be real pewter.
It certainly does.
Well, there's no use talking to you. You just don't know a genuine antique when you see it. That saucer came over on the Mayflower.
I believe you. It still had coffee in it from the Pilgrims.
Well, the Pilgrims made very good coffee, so stop complaining. Did you have a nice Christmas, Don?
Oh, yes, I did very well. In fact, I got some of the most beautiful presents I've ever seen.
You did? What'd you get, Don?
Well, I got some gold cufflinks, a moving picture camera, a camel's hair overcoat, a golf ball, and a diamond wristwatch.
Well.
Thanks for the golf ball, Jack.
You're welcome, Don. You do play golf, don't you?
No.
Oh, well. You really ought to take it up, Don. It's great exercise for a fellow like you, and there's so many beautiful courses around here.
That's fine. You give a guy one golf ball, and right away you want him to join a country club.
Well?
Why don't you give him a porthole and let him buy a yacht?
Mary, before you continue, remember the Maine, the Alamo, and the May Company. Anyway, Don, I'm sure glad Santa Claus was so nice to you.
Oh, yes, I'll never forget this Christmas.
I, too, had a joyous Yuletide.
Did you, Jazzbo? What did Santa have in his bag for you?
Well, besides that golf ball, thanks.
You're welcome.
Besides that, I got some neckties, a gold keychain, and a lovely cashier's sweater.
A what?
A cashier's sweater. You know, that soft, woolly stuff?
That's cashmere. Isn't that awful? Cashier's sweater. Well, so much for the presents. And now, Dennis, we're ready for a song. How about it? Huh?
Oh, no dialogue, eh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Dennis. Hey, really, I am sorry. You should have a little something to do here. Tell me, did you have a nice Christmas?
Yes, well.
That's good. Did you get a lot of presents?
Yeah, lots of them.
I see. Did you enjoy them?
I sure did.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Fine.
Well, no laugh so far. I guess I better sing, eh?
That's a good idea. Go ahead, Dennis. Hold it a minute. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Did you get that calendar I sent you of Lady Godiva on a horse?
Yes, I did.
That was me with my hair down. Goodbye.
You ought to see him, folks. His head looks like a honeydew melon with ears. Sing, Dennis.
Promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. Ah, if my heart could only find a voice, would you then bestow a willing ear? You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are
That was All the Things You Are, sung by Dennis Day. And just think, Dennis, that's your last song this year. That's the last time we'll hear your voice in 1939.
Gee, time certainly flies, doesn't it?
I'll say it does. You know, Dennis, it seems like only yesterday I was your age. Only yesterday I was 19.
And the day before yesterday, Washington crossed the Delaware.
Mary, I'm talking to Dennis. Wouldn't hurt if we had a little bit of sentiment this evening. As I was saying, Dennis, 1939 is soon coming to an end. In just a few more hours, the old year will pass right out.
And I won't be far behind.
Last year, you won by 8 lengths. Well, I suppose all you guys are going to celebrate tonight, make whoopee and everything. Are you stepping out tonight, Don?
Yeah, I'm going over to the Florentine Gardens and see Sally Rand do her fan dance.
Why, Don, you're blushing already. How about you, Mary? Where are you going?
I'm going over to Ginger Rogers' house. She's having a whole mob of people over, but she told me not to tell you, so forget it.
Well, I know why. She's sore on account of those Christmas cards I sold her.
What's the matter with her cards, Jack?
I told Rochester just to print Ginger Rogers on them, and he underlined the gin. He has to get so fancy, you know.
Well, Jack, I see you've got your tuxedo on. What are you going to do tonight?
Me? Oh, I've got a date down with my girlfriend, and we're stepping out high, wide, and handsome.
I'll bet.
Well, we are. I'm going out with Gladys tonight. I got a big roll of bills, and I'm going to shoot the works.
What's that bulge in your hip pocket?
That's my dime bank. If necessary, I'm going to crack that open. Gladys and I are going to town.
Well, Jack, as long as you've got a heavy date, you ought to have another tuxedo. That one looks awful with those moth holes on the shoulders.
Oh, it's New Year's Eve, and they throw a little confetti on me. Who'll see him? Gladys won't mind.
Oh, boy, am I going to have fun tonight.
You are, Dennis?
Yeah, I'm taking my girl to a midnight show. Wow!
Well, what's so thrilling about that?
We aren't going to watch the picture.
Oh, yes. Those were the days. Well, anyway, fellas, I'm going to have to leave early tonight, so before I go...
Hey, Jackson, who is this Dame Gladys? Is she in the movies?
No, but she could be. She tested for the part of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind.
Who didn't?
You didn't.
Take that back, Si, or I'll horsewhip you.
Sorry, ma'am. May I offer my humble apologies?
Rastus, come here. There's a weevil in my jeweler.
All right, Phil, we've gone far enough.
No, we haven't, Colonel. Ladies and gentlemen, next time you're in the mood for a little old tempting dessert, why don't you run down to that little old grocery store and ask him for a little old package of Jell-O? It comes in 6 little old flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and little old lime. Sure enough.
That's very good, Colonel Wilson. Powerful good.
Hey, Mr. Benny, what's the big idea?
It's payday, and we're all going to get Confederate money.
Well, I suppose that's hay. Anyway, fellas, getting back to wherever we were, as I was saying, I've got a date, so I have to leave pretty soon. But before I go, I want to tell you all to be here early next Sunday because we're going to do a very important play.
What's it going to be, Jack?
We're going to present our version of William Pearlberg's outstanding Columbia film production. That sensational stage hit and screen masterpiece. That dramatic cinema achievement, Golden Boy. Thank you, Goldie. So remember, fellas, be here on time next week, as this is a long play.
Sure, we'll be here. Don't worry.
Well, I'm going to run along now. Can't keep Gladys waiting. Take over the show, will you, fellas?
Sure, Jack. We'll carry on.
Say, did you hear this one, folks? I call my girl Grapefruit because every time I squeeze her, she hits me in the eye.
Squeeze me, Phil. I'll hit you in both of them. Now I am leaving.
Oh, don't go yet, Jack. I want you to hear my New Year's poem.
You can read it later, Mary. I haven't time now. Oh, just when I'm in a hurry. Come in.
Hiya, Buck! Happy New Year, everybody!
Well, Happy New Year, Andy! If you'd have been a second later, you'd have missed me. I was just leaving. I'm going to have a big night tonight.
Me too, Buck. I'm taking Ma and Pa over at the Wilshire Bowl.
Oh, over to Phil's place, eh? So you're spending a little dough on the old folks.
Oh, it won't cost me nothing. Pa writes all of Phil's material.
Well, I knew it wasn't Alexander Woolcott. So you're taking Ma and Pa to the Wilshire Bowl, eh? Are they going formal?
Yeah, you ought to see Pa. Top hat, white tie, and jug.
Well, taking a jug of corn to Harris's place, eh? That's like carrying coals to Newcastle. Well, I'll bet you have fun at that. Is your Ma going to wear an evening gown, Andy?
I think so. She just had her tattoo retouched.
Oh, yes. That anchor on her arm was starting to fade, come to think of it.
Well, I gotta run along now, Buck. Happy New Year, everybody!
Wait a minute, Andy. I'm leaving right away. I'll walk downstairs with you. See who it is, will you, Mary?
I got it. Hello? Yes, he's here. Oh, Jack, it's for you. It's Gladys.
Gladys? Give me that phone. You better run along, Andy. See you later.
Okay, Buck.
Hello, Gladys. Yeah, this is Speedy. I'm coming right over. What? You can't go? But Gladys, I got my tuxedo on. Gee, I got reservations and everything. Gee.
Tell her about your dime bank.
Quiet. Now, look, Gladys. Well, of course I believe you, but, gee, it's New Year's Eve. You gotta go. Oh, gee whiz, Gladys, won't you change your mind?
Of course I will.
Thanks. Mary, stay out of this. Now, look, Gladys, isn't there some way you can make it? But, honey, I got 2 tickets for dinner. I'll be so stuffed I can't walk. Well, all right. All right, so long then. See you next week, Gladys. Goodbye. Fine thing. Well, what are you all staring at? Gladys had a very good excuse. And she's nuts about me, too. Well, she is.
Well, don't take it so hard, Jackson. Come on out with me tonight. I'll get you a date.
No, thanks. I don't feel like going anyplace.
Oh, come on with us, Jack. We'll have a lot of fun.
No, Don, thanks just the same. I'm going to drop over at Ginsburg's, have a cup of coffee, and then go home. Well, look after the show, Don. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Jack.
So long.
Gee, I wish Jack had waited and gone along with us.
Yeah, no fun being alone on New Year's Eve.
I'll say it isn't.
Pardon me, fellas, I forgot my cane. Here it is. Well, so long. New Year's Eve, and I gotta go home. Oh, well, it's just like finding the money. Happy New Year, Mike.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny, and a Happy New Year to you, too. Is your program over?
No, Mike, I just left early.
Oh, Stefanotti.
No, I'm just going over to Ginsburg's, have a cup of coffee, and then home.
Well,
Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night. Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, thanks very much for that golf ball.
That's all right. So long, Mike. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir.
Well, everybody's sure having a good time tonight.
Happy New Year, mister. Yippee!
Happy New Year.
Where'd you get that derby?
Ouch. Hey, cut that out. A brand new hat, too. Boy, what a crowd. Well, here's Ginsburg's. Hello, Sam.
Happy New Year, Mr. Benny. Did you got my calendar?
Yes, I did, Sam. I liked it better than last year.
It's nothing fancy, and still it's for nothing, you know?
Yes, it's lovely, Sam.
Are you all alone tonight?
Yep, just dropped in for a cup of coffee.
With a tuxedo on, it's 5 cents extra.
All right, I'll pay it.
Yeah, but with that tuxedo, let it go.
All right, Sam. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Coffee, please.
Would you like a sandwich or some toast with it?
No, thanks, just coffee.
Want a little cream with it?
No, just some black coffee.
Gee, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right, Gladys. That's all right. Forget it.
But honest, Jack, Mamie promised she'd work for me tonight.
Mamie. All the time it's Mamie. Couldn't have let me know before the last minute.
I'm sorry, Speedy.
Well, see, you're wearing my corsage and on that uniform yet. Forget about the coffee. I'm going home.
I'll be through at 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, I'll be snoring. Goodbye.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it, here's your golf ball back.
Keep it. He always blames everything on Mamie. It's always Mamie's fault. Hey, taxi! Taxi! This is the house on your left, Joe.
Okay.
What does the meter say?
$1.10.
Well, here's $2. It's all yours.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Benny.
You're welcome.
Say, you sure you won't change your mind and go out with me and Mamie?
No, thanks, Joe. Some other night. Good night.
Good night.
I should go out on a party with Mamie after what she did to me. Fine New Year's Eve. Well, I guess I'll turn in.
Is that you, Josephine?
What?
Uh-oh. Happy New Year, boss.
Happy New Year. Rochester, I thought you were going out tonight and celebrate.
No hurry, boss.
Oh.
On Central Avenue, Father Time lingers till we get rolling.
I see. Well, I'm going upstairs and go to bed.
Why don't you sit in the library? It's nice and cozy there with the fireplace and everything.
I guess I will at that. Say, where's my sister and brother-in-law, Mr. Fenchel?
Your sister, your brother-in-law, and your full-dress suit are out for the evening.
I wish Leonard would stay out of my clothes closet. Where's our boarder, Mr. Billingsley?
He ain't come home yet.
Gee, that fire looks good. I'm going to sit down in this easy chair and relax.
Do you want your bedroom slippers?
Yes, Rochester, take them off. Bring me a glass of milk, will you?
Milk? Wouldn't you like something a little stronger tonight, boss?
No, Rochester.
I got a bottle of champagne right here. Can I pour you a glass?
No, Rochester.
Don't you want just one little sip?
No, I don't want one little sip.
Well, can I even wave the cork under your nose?
No, all I want is a glass of milk. Well, Rochester, in just a few hours, it'll be 1940. A brand new year.
It ain't getting off to a very good start, is it?
No, it isn't. With all this quarreling and fighting that's going on in the world.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yep. You know, Rochester, what this world needs is more peace, more brotherly love.
Boss, what this world needs is a few less people who are making less people.
You said it. Throw another log in the fire, Rochester, will you?
Okay.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Billingsley.
Good evening, Mr. Benny. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Won't you sit down for a few minutes?
No, thanks. Think I'll turn in. Good night.
Good night. He's an awfully nice fellow, but I wish he wouldn't walk on his hands all the time. Rochester, turn on the radio. I want to hear how our program is getting along.
It's over, ain't it?
Not yet.
So Happy New Year, Happy New Year. That is our wish. Oh, yes, indeedy. From me and Don and Phil and Dennis and good old Jack. Are you listening, Speedy?
Yes, I'm listening.
Goodbye, goodbye, old 39. Here's good luck to all mankind. So Happy New Year once again. Good night, dear folks. This is the end.
Gee, I wish I'd have heard the start of that. Turn it off, Rochester.
Okay.
Well, I think I'll get to bed.
Ain't you going to stay up and welcome the new year in?
No, I'm tired. Good night.
Good night. Say, boss, I ain't going to get to bed till early in the morning. Do you mind if I sleep late?
How late do you want to sleep?
Till about Thursday.
All right, have a good time. Good night, Rochester.
Good night.
Ya-da-da-da-dum, da-dee-da-dum, bum-bum, bum. Hey, Rochester!
What do you want, boss?
Will you please call up Ginsberg's restaurant? I left my cane there.
Okay.
Good night, Rochester. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, boss. Happy New Year.
In the 1 cup of hot water, dissolve 1 package of strawberry jello. Now, there's a remark, ladies and gentlemen, that could very easily lead to something, and it does. It leads to something mighty good because it's the first line of a recipe for making a brand new jello dessert called pineapple snow, and here's how you make it. Dissolve 1 package of strawberry jello in 1 cup of hot water and add a cup of golden fragrant canned pineapple juice. Chill until cold and syrupy. Then place in a bowl of cracked ice, add 1 egg white, and whip with a rotary egg beater. And that's pineapple snow, a swell treat with its foamy rose pink color and the rich flavor of strawberry jello combined with tangy pineapple. You've probably already planned your whole New Year's Day dinner for tomorrow, but if you're still trying to think of a simple yet simply elegant dessert for that late evening supper, here's the answer. Use strawberry jello and make some delicious pineapple snow.
This is the last number of the 13th program in the new Jello series, and we will be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. So to be sure to tune in and listen to our version of Golden Boy. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Jello. Here's news. Every Tuesday night, the Aldrich Family is on the air, starring Ezra Stone as Henry Aldrich, that lovable hard-luck kid. Consult your local newspaper or radio guide for time and stations, and be sure to tune in on the Aldrich Family next Tuesday night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jello program, coming to you from the Ritz Theater in New York City, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Tookie. You know, friends, a lovely shimmering mold of Jello on the table has a wonderful way of lending luster to a meal, just as Christmas trees and candles, tinsel and holly lend their own special gaiety to this merriest of merry seasons. Even the simplest family dinner takes on extra charm and attractiveness when the high point of the meal is a grand Jello dessert. How inviting its shining colors look and how intriguing its rich, tempting flavor tastes. No other dessert can add more to the spirit and pleasure of any occasion, because no other dessert can outrival Jello's glistening beauty and refreshing goodness. So, ladies and gentlemen, decide now to add a new note of festive delight to your meals during the holiday season. Tomorrow, ask your grocer for Jello and any of Jello's 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. By the way, strawberry and raspberry Jello both have a new improved flavor obtained by using a natural flavor base artificially enhanced. And the result is a rich, distinctive goodness rivaled only by the juicy, ripe fruit itself. A unique flavor that cannot be duplicated in any other way. Try a grand treat made with genuine Jello, and you'll realize right away why Jello is America's favorite gelatin dessert. Was Tookie, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, there being just 2 more shopping days till Christmas, we bring you that fugitive from Gimbel's basement, Jack Benny.
Thank Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And Don, speaking of Gimbel's basement, I never saw so many women shopping in my life. I got shoved around like a blinza in Lindy's. Boy, what a mob.
Pretty hectic, huh?
Hectic. You know, Don, I can understand my derby getting caved in, my muffler torn, and the sleeve of my coat ripped off. But how I lost my pivot tooth, I'll never know. That was really an experience.
Oh, I can just imagine what you must have gone through.
You know, a funny thing about women, Don, all year long they're so helpless. You have to open the door for them. They can't light their own cigarettes. They cling to your arm as you walk down the street. They're as delicate as butterflies. And then, about 2 weeks before Christmas, a mad glint comes into their eye. And with an umbrella for gouging and a handbag for slugging, off they go. Come on, girls, let's mangle the mail. That's their battle cry.
Well, Jack, women are a little excitable when they're shopping around Christmas time, but I don't think they're as tough as you say.
Oh, you don't, eh? Don, I was in Macy's yesterday afternoon, and a little gray-haired lady, couldn't have been over 5 feet tall, put down her cane and yanked a washing machine right out of my arm. I tried to get it back, and she kicked my hat off. Imagine.
My goodness, Jack, you don't mean to say that a little old lady took a big washing machine away from you.
Don, I wouldn't have minded that so much, but it was a demonstrator. I'll probably never get my laundry back. That is my own fault, I guess, for waiting so long to shop. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, doll.
Doll? Well, look who's so affectionate around Christmas. You're certainly giving out with that soft soap.
Oh, no, I'm not, Jack.
You're not, eh? Then why did you call me doll?
Because your hair is glued on.
All right, young lady, that did it. There goes that mink coat I was going to buy you for a present.
You were going to buy me a mink coat?
Yes, I were. Or was. I was going to buy you a mink coat.
I'll bet it were or was from Rabbit.
Oh, no, it wasn't. You've lost a very beautiful gift. And you know the kind I hand out.
Go on, you wouldn't buy Hetty Lamar a Coca-Cola.
For Christmas? What are you talking about? Let me tell you something, Mary. A girl like Hetty Lamar could make a playboy out of me. I'd buy her quarts of bubbling champagne.
You'd buy cider and put an Alka-Seltzer in it.
All right, keep it up, keep it up. There goes Don's Christmas present, too.
Hey, wait a minute, Jack. I didn't say anything.
Oh, pardon me. Now, I got a little mixed up there.
Watch out, Don. He's laying for you.
No, I wouldn't forget about Don's present, not after the way he laughed at the premiere last Tuesday night. How'd you like the picture, Don?
Oh, I really enjoyed it, Jack. I got a big kick out of it.
I laugh like anything.
Sorry, Mary, the mink coat is over the dam. Anyway, Don, now that you've seen Love Thy Neighbor, what do you think of Fred Allen in it?
Well, to tell you the truth, Jack...
I mean, don't you feel that I get much bigger laughs than he does?
Well, to tell you the truth, Jack, I think you're very good in the picture, and so is Allen. The honors are equally distributed.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Mary. Then, Don, in your fat-headed opinion, you think Allen goes over as good as I do?
Exactly. You both have a lot to do in the picture, you both photograph well, and you both get big laughs.
Well, we both don't pay your salary, so start leaning my way. Imagine saying we photograph equally well.
That's ridiculous. Jack looks much better than Alan.
Why, certainly.
And Alan you can have.
Mary, one more crack out of you, and you'll be saying, oh, my goodness, I left my baby in the automat for Olson and Johnson. Remember that. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Jackson. Well, old pal, you got nothing to worry about. I got your Christmas present bought, packed, and ready to hand over.
Oh, so you've been shopping too, eh, Phil?
You said it. All day yesterday, one store after another.
Well, did the women kick you around much?
Yeah, but I got it coming to me.
You said it. You know, Phil, I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to buy your present yet. What did you get for me?
I ain't saying. You'll have to wait till Christmas.
Oh, come on, Phil, tell me.
All right, Jackson, I'll tell you what I bought you. Remember that camel's hair overcoat we saw in the window on Fifth Avenue? The one you were so nuts about?
Yeah?
Well, I got you a box of nuts.
Oh, well, Phil, unless you're kidding, when Mary is in the audience stooging for Olson and Johnson, you'll be in the lobby trying to get out of a straitjacket. Catch on?
The way I've been going the last few nights, a straitjacket wouldn't be bad.
He's not fooling, folks. You know, Phil lives on the 18th floor of the St. Moritz Hotel, and he never uses the elevator. He just goes in and out the window. Now, Phil.
Yeah?
It's about a little quicker on the yeah. You know, when I say now, Phil, you come right back. Yeah, there's no laugh when I say now, Phil, you know. Yeah. It's about time for a band number, so let's have it. What are you going to play?
I don't know. This bunch don't speak English.
Oh, fine. Well, don't worry about it, Phil. Just pick up your baton and follow him. Go ahead, kid. That was Jingle Bells, played by Phil Harris and his Central Park Troubadours. Troubadours meaning they are traveling musicians, and Central Park meaning they ought to get a room tonight. That joke went over better the first show. It shows you we should change for the night show. What a gang you picked up here, Phil, huh?
Well, music is just a sideline with these boys.
I know. And I wish you'd tell the drummer to stop pestering me. I've got all the potato peelers I need. Those guys sell everything from razor blades to mink coats.
Ho-ho!
What are you ho-hoing about? Fink, the fiddle player, has wonderful mink. I saw him.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello, Dennis.
Boy, am I a wreck. Women, nothing but women.
Oh, have you been shopping, too?
No, I just came from Roseland.
Oh, 10 cents a dance, eh?
Yeah, I cleaned up.
Say, Dennis, I hear that you and Kenny Baker have been stepping out and seeing the town together. Is that right?
Yeah, and you know what, Mr. Benny?
What?
The other night I made him pay for everything. I stuck him for $2.45.
You did? Well, now, Dennis, that's not very nice. If Kenny is kind enough to show you a good time, the least you can do is go 50-50. Or better still, pay all the expenses yourself. It's all right to save money, Dennis, but there's nothing like being a good sport. What's that for, Miss Livingston?
Everybody else knows.
That's so. You see, Dennis, there's only one way to be popular. When you're out with a fella and he reaches for the check, you take it first. And if he should pick it up, you grab it right out of his hand. Grab it.
I can't stand this.
Mary, come back here.
Okay.
What's the matter with you? Dennis is just a kid, and while he's still young, he's got to be taught how to conduct himself in public and not be a cheapskate.
I don't understand you, Mr. Benny. Oh, you don't? I don't understand you, Mr. Benny. You don't understand.
Well, look, Dennis, I'll explain it to you. Dennis, we'll go out for a bite to eat after the broadcast, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll pick up the check, and you take it away from me. See? Then I'll take it away from you, and then you take it away from me.
Then what?
That's all, Bub.
Mary, I warned you. Cut it out, kid.
Say, Jackson.
Yes, Phil?
My band number's over, and I still got a lot of Christmas shopping to do. Do you mind if I run along?
Why, no, Phil. In fact, I think I'll go with you. There are a lot of things I got to get myself. Don, you can take charge of the rest of the program, can't you?
Oh, sure. Don't worry about it, Jack.
Come on with us, Mary. I want you to help me pick out a few things.
Okay, but don't embarrass me.
I won't. You know, there's a swell store near my hotel, the Sherry Netherlands, where I can buy almost... Wait a minute. Answer the phone, Mary.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, Miss Livingston. This is Rochester.
Oh, boy, are you going to get us? Jack, it's Rochester.
Rochester. Give me that phone. I'll find out right now where he's been for the past 2 weeks. Hello?
Hello, boss. What happened to you? Where you been?
Where have I been? I've been on the phone for the last 10 days trying to reach you. I called every hot spot in Harlem that's got a telephone.
At the hot ones, you can't hear it ring.
Rochester, I don't want any flippancies. I want the truth. Now, we arrived in New York a week ago Thursday.
The 12th, they tell me.
Yes, the 12th. It is now December 22nd, just 3 days before Christmas.
Happy Yuletide, boss.
Never mind that. What I want to know is what became of the time between December 12th when we got here and December 22nd, which is today.
Well,
Well,
on Friday the 13th, I was right up to the door of your hotel, ready to go to work.
uh-huh.
And just as I was about to enter, a black cat ran across my path.
I see. Well, couldn't you walk around the cat?
I did and wound up at 125th Street.
Oh, well, so much for Friday. Now, what happened on Saturday and Sunday?
Our weekend ended up to Harlem.
Up a Hudson, that
Up
is.
the Hudson.
Take it again, huh? How did I know when he's on the other side of the telephone? Well, we'll get to Monday. I must be psychic. Then we'll get to Monday. After your weekend, Rochester, why didn't you call me at my hotel?
I was so full of sherry, I couldn't think of Netherlands.
Now, don't give me that. Look, Rochester, I haven't any more time to argue with you. Where are you calling from?
What's that, boss?
I said, where are you right now?
Just a minute. What's the address here, sugar?
31 Lenox Avenue, honey.
31 Lenox Avenue, honey.
Rochester, who are you talking to?
Susan Brown, the sweetest gal in town.
Oh, yeah, I spoke to her last week and left a message for you. Did you get it?
Just a minute. Honey, did you give me a message from Mr. Bennett?
Why, Rochester, you knows I did.
She forgot to give it to me, boy.
Oh, she forgot to give it to you, eh?
Yeah, she's as dizzy as a blonde, but it can't happen here.
I see. Now, Rochester, I want you to go over to my hotel right away. That made up for the one you muffed. I want you to go over to my hotel right away. There's a lot of work to do, and it's got to be done before tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Now, how soon can you get over there?
Just a minute, boss. Say, sugar, I don't think I'll be able to take you to the Savoy Ballroom tonight.
Oh, that's all right, honey. I'll get somebody else.
You better not get somebody else.
I ain't going up there alone, Rochester. I want somebody to snuggle up to.
You get somebody to snuggle up to, and it'll be your last snug.
Rochester.
And I do mean last.
You threaten me, Shorty, and I'll cut them $9 out of your hip pocket.
Rochester, answer me. I want you to come right over to my hotel.
Leaving right away, boss. So long.
Goodbye.
Now listen, sugar, don't make any date. I'll run over to see Mr. Bennett, put on the old personality, and be back here in a half hour.
Rochester, you forgot to hang up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Rochester!
Yes, boy!
I heard your conversation.
Don't you believe it?
Get over here! Goodbye. And the same trouble with that guy every time I come to New York. Come on, Mary, let's go shopping while I'm mad.
Yeah, that'll hold you down.
Let's go, Phil.
Right with you, Jackson.
All right, Dennis, let's have your song.
The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Away in a manger, no crib for his bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the heavens looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep in the hay. Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ the
Boy, what a crowd. Stick close to me, Phil. You too, Mary. I don't want you to get lost.
Okay, Papa.
Are you going to take us to see Santa Claus, Daddy?
Pipe down, both of you. Gotta have some system here. Now, let's see my Christmas list. I gotta buy a compact or something for my Aunt Molly, a lawnmower for Dennis, a Mickey for my riders. Let's see. A deck of cards for Simney. Let's see. What else here?
Gee, look at that crowd of women at the bargain counter.
Where? Oh, boy, what a mob.
See you later, Jackson. I'm going over and mingle.
See you later. Gosh, I wish I knew what to get for Aunt Molly. Mary, I wonder if she could use a lipstick.
Has she got lips?
What do you think? She got lips. Here's a counter.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'd like a lipstick, please.
Oh, come now.
Look, it's not for me. I'm buying it for my Aunt Molly.
I see. A lipstick for your Aunt Molly.
That's who it's for. She lives in Chicago on LaSalle Street.
What number?
I don't know the number.
Oh, you don't know the number, and yet you want to send a lipstick to your Aunt Molly.
I'm not going to send it. I'm going to take it to her. I'm going to stop off in Chicago on my way to California.
Oh, I suppose you're the only one that ever went to California.
What are you talking about? I live in California. I got a home there.
Well, I've got a home here, but I don't brag about it.
I wasn't bragging. Now, look, mister, all I want is a lipstick. Am I going to get it or not?
Sorry, I've decided against you. Next case, please.
If the guy isn't screwy, then I don't know what. More trouble over a lipstick. Mary, I ought to go over to the grocery department and get Don a case of Jell-O. He'll love it for Christmas.
And why don't you get 2 cases so you can fill a stocking?
I'll get all the 6 flavors. That'll do it. And, Mary, while we're in the store, I think I'll buy a collar button. I need one.
Yeah, your Adam's apple ain't practical.
It's just an emergency. I lost the button. There's the men's department over there.
Pardon me, could you tell me where I can buy an evening gown so I should look like Lena Turner?
Miss, that's Lana Turner.
Lena, I'll never make it.
Well, I'm sorry, miss. I'm Jack Benny. I'm not a floor walker.
I show you a picture. Get ready.
Fine. She looks like Babe Marks. Come on, Mary, let's get that collar button. I haven't got much time.
You'd have plenty of time if you stopped flirting with that girl.
Who was flirting? She thought I was a floor walker, didn't she?
Well, you didn't have to roll your big blue eyes at her.
Mary, just because my eyes happen to be large and devil may carriage, don't have to accuse me of flirting. Here we are.
Good evening, sir. What can I do for you?
I'd like to buy a collar button.
A collar button? Yes, sir. Now, here's a nice one for $85.
$85 for a collar button?
Yes, that includes dress shirt, tie, socks, patent leather shoes, and a double-breasted tuxedo.
Well, that's a good buy, all right, but all I want is a collar button.
Sorry, we never break up a set.
Well, now, that's ridiculous. You know, mister, I've shopped in every city in the United States, but I've never been in a store like this. I tried to buy some lipstick a few minutes ago.
Lipstick? Oh, come now.
It sounds silly, but I had a good reason. And the salesman at that counter insulted me.
Oh, Jack, look.
What is it?
Look who's over there at that counter.
Where?
Right there. Isn't that Kenny Baker buying a camera?
Well, sure enough, it is Kenny. Let's go over and say hello.
Gee, miss, this camera looks swell. I think I'll take it. How much is it?
$3.
$3? Gee, Dennis would like it all right, but haven't you got something for 55 cents?
Well, yes, but I thought you wanted to spend $3.
I do, but he's already hooked me for $2.45.
Oh, Kenny.
Hello, Kenny.
Huh? Oh, well, I'll be doggone. Hello, Jack. How are you, Mary? Gee, I'm glad to see you.
Gosh, Kenny, I haven't seen you in a long time. Gee, you're getting to be a big boy now.
I sure am. You want a cigar, Jack?
Oh, my goodness. Look, Mary, he's got a whole pocket full of cigars.
Yeah, I had them left over from Wilkie.
Oh, fine. Same old Kenny.
How about a little kiss, Mary?
Okay.
Big boy, all right. Cigars and everything, huh? All right, kids, break it up. Come on.
Wow, he has grown up.
Say, that was a real kiss, huh?
Personally, I'm a wreck.
Well, pull yourself together. Come on with us, Kenny. You can buy your camera later. I want to talk to you.
Okay.
I'll see you later. I gotta buy some hose.
All right. So long, Mary. Say, Kenny, how do you like your new job? See, that Fred Allen is pretty tough to work for, isn't he?
No, he's swell. We get along great together.
Oh. But I'll bet you don't have as much fun as you used to have on the old Jell-O show. Gee, you remember all the laughs and good times and everything?
Yeah, but I'm having a wonderful time with Fred.
Ah.
Gee, talk about laughs. Say, he's a riot.
Is that so?
Yeah. And you know what, Jack? Mr. Allen pays me every week.
Does, eh?
Yep.
Pays you every week. Huh?
Yeah, none of that see me later kid stuff.
Well, you must have a pretty short memory, Kenny. I used to have that envelope for you every week, too.
Yeah, but with Mr. Allen, I don't have to play treasure hunt.
Oh, well, good, clean sport. Never hurt anybody. Say, Kenny.
Yes, please?
Oh, fine. Say, Kenny, I just happened to think of something. Remember the time you first came to work for me and I invited you over to the house for a Thanksgiving party?
Yeah.
I'll never forget how bashful you were. You remember I asked you if you wanted to have some more turkey?
Yeah, and I was so darn nervous I said yes.
Oh, that turkey wasn't so bad.
Have you got much left?
Same old Kenny. Gosh, I'll never forget the time. Kenny, remember when it was Halloween and I didn't know you were in the backyard?
Yeah.
All of a sudden I heard a noise at the window, and there you were. Wasn't that funky?
Thanksgiving and Christmas are 2 days out of the year when it's fairly easy to decide on a dessert. Because you can figure that most families will be looking ahead to mince pie, pumpkin pie, or plum pudding. But during the rest of the 365 days of the year, choosing a dessert is always a problem. And that's where General Foods' new calendar of desserts comes to your rescue. This handsome recipe book gives you a different dessert inspiration for every day in the year. Between its bright, attractive covers, you'll find 365 suggestions for all kinds of delicious treats, profusely illustrated with beautiful color photographs. There's page after page crammed with mouth-watering pictures and descriptions of clever dessert dishes, pastries, puddings, cakes, and cookies, not to mention lots and lots of grand Jell-O desserts. A flip of the page brings you a new and tempting dessert idea every day, and it's easy to get, too. Just mail 10 cents in coin or stamps to Jack Bennett, care of General Foods, Battle Creek, Michigan, and a copy of the calendar of desserts will be forwarded to you at once. Send for yours today.
Merry Christmas. See you Wednesday, Miss Benny.
How often do you lie awake at night, ladies and gentlemen, listening to the ticking of the clock grow louder and louder and louder? And how often would you avoid that wakefulness if you drank Sanka coffee instead of ordinary coffee? Sanka coffee permits sleep because it is 97% caffeine-free. And Sanka is real coffee at its delicious best. Start drinking Sanka coffee tomorrow.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Jell-O program coming to you from Hollywood, California, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Encino Madness. Just as it's fun to close the year with a happy celebration, so it's always pleasant to finish each meal with a grand flourish by serving rich, shimmering Jell-O. Jell-O's gay colors and refreshing flavor top off a dinner in perfect style. So during the next year, friends, plan to serve Jell-O even oftener than you do now. Get several packages of Jell-O tomorrow, choosing any of Jell-O's 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. Incidentally, strawberry and raspberry Jell-O both taste better than ever. They have a new, improved flavor obtained by using a natural flavor base artificially enhanced. And this gives them a rare goodness rivaled only by the juicy, ripe fruit itself. A unique flavor so distinctive that it cannot be duplicated in any other way. Start now to enjoy a treat without equal, America's favorite gelatin dessert, Jell-O. Encino Madness, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, our program last Sunday came to you from New York City. Immediately after the broadcast, the entire Jell-O gang left for Hollywood, and Christmas found us aboard a Union Pacific train passing through Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska.
So before starting our program this evening, we would like to turn back the clock to last Wednesday night and show you how we celebrated Christmas Eve under these unusual circumstances.
Yeah, stances.
About 7 p.m., Jack went into the observation car with Rochester to decorate a huge Christmas tree which he had purchased in Chicago. And even though we were on the train, Jack was determined to give us a real old...
bells, gee, they are terrific. Imagine spending Christmas on the good old Union Pacific.
Rochester.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Rochester, will you stop that singing and hold the ladder steady? The way this train is swinging, I can hardly keep my balance.
Okay, I got it.
Now, let's see. Darn it, I wish I'd thought of buying some ornaments. Rochester, hand me those oranges and bananas there. I'll hang them up.
Should I peel them?
No. I just want to add a little color to the tree. Now, I ought to have something on the top here. Rochester, where's that ham sandwich I cut into a star?
I got hungry and ate 3 points off it.
Look at it. Now, tear up some more timetables and sprinkle them on the lower branches down there.
The conductor said we should stop tearing them up.
Well, we got to have snow, don't we?
But the conductor
I don't
said...
care what the conductor says. I'm running this tree.
He's pretty mad at you anyway, boss. He found out that Dennis Day is over 12.
What?
I told that boy not to roll his pants down.
Oh, well. The heck with the conductor.
He found out I wasn't a porter, too.
Nobody told you to say that. Now, let's see. This side isn't right yet. I think I ought to hang some kind of an ornament up here. Rochester, lend me your wristwatch.
Here you are, boss.
Thanks. Hey, wait a minute. This is my wristwatch. How come you were wearing it?
I gave it to me for Christmas.
Oh, you gave you my watch.
Yeah, you want to put a card on it?
I'm keeping it. Now, let's see. I think I'll hang it over here.
A little to the right, boss.
No. It looks good here.
Then I'd move it a little to the left.
No. I like the watch right where it is.
Then I'd move one of those 3 oranges. It looks like a pawn shop.
Oh, I see what you mean. Now, if I can only... Oh, hello, Mary.
My goodness, are you still on that ladder?
Well, I got to get this finished before the party tonight. By the way, did you speak to the brakeman like I told you to?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said Christmas tree or no Christmas tree, you can't have his red lantern.
That's fine cooperation. Can't even have any lights on this tree. Rochester, scratch the brakeman from my Christmas list.
Okay.
And the engineer thought I was crazy when I asked him for the bell off the engine.
Oh, he did. All right, there goes the engineer's present. I'll scratch his name off.
Scratch the fireman, too. He said you can roast your own chestnuts.
This is the darnest thing I ever heard of.
Well, gee whiz, you don't expect him to turn the whole train upside down just because you bought a Christmas tree.
Mary, I'm just trying to make the trip a little more enjoyable, that's all. Rochester, how does the tree look from down there?
It ain't believable.
Well, you're supposed to use your imagination. Now, the timetables I tore up represent snow.
Uh-huh.
And those oranges are supposed to be beautiful glass ornaments.
Uh-huh.
And the bananas are long, silvery icicles shimmering through the branches.
Doggone, how can anyone get that high just on a ladder?
Well, I didn't expect you to understand it. Say, Mary, where's the rest of the gang? Have you seen Phil?
Yeah, he's in the club car trying to make a date with a girl. He even promised her a screen test.
That's just like Phil. The minute he gets on a train, he tries to date up a girl. Where's Dennis?
He's the girl. Phil's plastered.
Oh, no, he isn't. I saw him an hour ago, and he was all right. Mary, let me have one of your earrings. I want to put something shiny on the end of this branch.
Oh, hang up your gold tooth and let me alone.
Mary, I'm trying to get this finished. Now, please help me, will you?
Okay. Say, Jack, here comes that kid that got on at Omaha.
Oh, yeah, the pest. He ought to be in bed.
Hey, sweetheart, what are you doing up that ladder?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm decorating a Christmas tree.
What, bananas? You're nuts.
Those bananas are long icicles. Now, go away. Darn it, I wish I'd bought some tinsel. That's just what I need here.
Hey, sweetheart, are you Santa Claus?
Maybe I can get some tinfoil. That'll help.
Hey, are you Santa Claus?
Yes, I'm Santa Claus. Now, beat it, will you?
Well, where's your red underwear?
My red underwear?
He's got it on, believe me.
Yes, I'm going to keep it on till we get to California. Mary, hand me that lampshade. I'll hang it up here over the ham sandwich.
Boy, what a screwball.
Oh, yeah? You wouldn't dare say that if we were alone. Now, run along, will you? Run along. Your mother wants you.
My mother hates me.
I don't blame her. Now, get going. Scram.
Okay, Blue Eyes.
Well, I'll be darned. Even kids notice him. I hope he stays away.
Oh, Jack, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, picking a fight with a 10-year-old kid.
He started it. He called me a screwball.
Well, if the screw fits, put it on.
Slug that brat if he comes in here again. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Jackson. Well, for goodness sake, what's that?
It's a Christmas tree, Phil. That's the best I can do on this train.
Holy smoke, are we on a train?
Oh, fine. Of course we're on a train.
Well, I better tell my guitar player he just went out to play golf.
Oh. Well, he better have his niblick with him. He's going to have a little trouble getting over the Rockies. Here comes my friend, the conductor.
Mr. Benny, 3 people in the next car want to go to bed, and they've all got upper berths. How much longer are you going to use that ladder?
Tell them to keep their shirts on. I'll be through in a minute.
They got their shirts off, and they want to go to bed.
I can't help it. I've got a job to do here. These icicles don't hang right.
Icicles, smicicles. Give me that ladder.
Let go of that. Whoop, whoop.
We're going around a curve, boy.
Whoop. Rochester, hold that ladder. Oh.
Hey, Jack.
What?
You're all covered with schmicicles.
Yeah, look at me. Now, conductor, this is all your fault. If I told you once, I told you 5 times. I'd be through with this ladder in a minute. And now this thing. We got to do this thing all over.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what happened Christmas Eve on the train.
That's right, Don, but we still had a lot of fun.
Oh, we sure did. And now, getting back to our program, Dennis Day will sing that popular Spanish ballad, Perfidia. Take it, Dennis.
Tonight, my heart cries out Perfidia, for I have found you love of my life in some other lover's arms. Your eyes are echoing Perfidia, forgetful of our promise of love, you're sharing another's charm. With a sad lament, my dreams have faded like a broken melody. And the gods of love look down and laugh at what romantic fools we mortals be. And now I know my love was not for you, and so I'll take it back with a sigh. Perfidia means goodbye. Mujer, si puedes tú con Dios hablar, pregúntale si alguna vez te he dejado de adorar. Y el mar, espejo de mi corazón, las veces que me ha visto llorar, la perfidia de tu amor. With a sad lament, my dreams have faded like a broken melody. And the gods of love look down and laugh at what romantic fools we mortals be. And now I know my love was not for you, and so I'll take it back with a sigh. Perfidia means goodbye.
That was Perfidia, sung by Dennis Day. And very good, Dennis. I didn't know you could sing in Spanish. You really did a great job.
Gracias, senor.
Gracias. Huh? That reminds me, Dennis, you haven't mowed my lawn in 3 weeks. It's growing. You know, it's growing pretty high.
I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Anytime after lunch. Say, Don.
Yes, Jack?
I want to congratulate you on the way you described our Christmas Eve on the train a little while ago, but I wish you would put a happy ending to it.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, if you remember, I put the tree back up, and then we all sat around, opened our presents, and had a jolly good time.
Yes, we did, Jack. And I want to thank you for that lovely pickle fork you gave me and the little woman.
Well, I wanted to get you something novel, yet useful.
Yet cheap.
Now, Mary, if you think that a solid silver pickle fork from Tiffany's is cheap, you're just silly. Let me tell you something, Don. You can hock that fork at any pawn shop in town for $35.
Thank you, I will.
You're welcome, and nobody but a big fat announcer would say a thing like that. Oh, Dennis, did you like the present I gave you?
Oh, yes. Thanks very much, Mr. Benny.
You're welcome.
Gee whiz, I can hardly wait till summer.
Well, you'll just have to wait, that's all.
What'd he give you, kid?
A bottle of white shoe polish.
Yes, sir. A quart bottle of Clancy's Classy Cleanser. There's enough to last you all summer.
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of summer, let me remind you that regardless of season, Jell-O is
Wait a minute, Don, wait a minute. You don't have to sneak in a plug tonight. This is the last program of 1940, and your commercial is going to have real production. Okay, Phil, let's have it.
Hit it, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time this year, let me tell you about Jell-O. During the past 12 months, millions of happy housewives have gone to their neighborhood grocer and returned with boxes of tempting and appetizing Jell-O. For they know it's not only economical and easy to make, but comes in those 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. I thank
There you are, Don. There you are. That was all for you. Well, Don, the next time you talk about Jell-O, it'll be 1941.
you. Yep, next Tuesday will be New Year's Eve. Oh, and by the way, Jack, are you planning anything special for that night?
I certainly am, Don. It's a big night for me.
Jack's going to put on his full dress suit and go to the midnight show at the Pantages.
Not this year, sister. I'm going downtown to the Paramount. You see, and they know why. Nah, I didn't even have to say it.
Say, Jackson.
What?
Why don't you come out to the Wilshire Bowl Tuesday night? Balloons, paper hat, confetti, and all that stuff you love.
Well, I might do that, Phil.
Bring a girl along.
No, if I come over, I'll be alone.
What for?
All of Jack's girls have to work on New Year's Eve.
Not all of them. Gladys Biscoe hasn't worked since that steam table fell on her foot. Poor kid.
How's she getting along, Mr. Benny?
Oh, fine. We're suing. Say, Phil, I may bring Gladys at that. I wonder if she's got an evening gown.
I've seen that dame, Jackson. Keep her covered.
Now, wait a minute, Phil. Our ideas of beauty aren't quite the same. You like one type of girl, and I like Gladys's type. Say, that's what makes horse races.
She could run on any track in the country.
Don't be catty. Say, Phil, how about playing a band number before I get sick of Gladys myself? What do you say?
Okay, I'm back with my own boys this week, and we're going to play in the old Harris manner. You know, good and loud.
You mean loudly?
That's it, loudly.
You can even change that a little. Go ahead. Hold it a minute. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
I want to thank you for that lovely toupee you gave me for Christmas.
Well, why aren't you wearing it?
It's not cold enough. Goodbye.
You ought to see his head, folks. What a spot for the ice follies. Play, Phil. That was You Walk By, played by Phil Harris and his Loudly Orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this being the last program of the current year, for the feature attraction of the evening, we are going to present the 1940 version of our annual New Year's fantasy entitled Father Time Rides Again. Now, in this whimsical drama, I will play the part of Old Man 1940. And Mary,
Yeah?
you will be Mrs. 1940, my loving, loyal wife. And we have 12 children. January, February, March, April.
May, June, and Herman.
That's July, and so on. Now, the scene of our play is the home of Mr. and Mrs. 1940, who live in a great big house called the Earth. It is almost...
Say, Mr. Benny.
Yes, Dennis?
You know, I read this play 4 times, and I still can't understand it.
Well, you see, Dennis, this drama is... explain it to him, Phil.
Okay. You see, Dennis, this drama is a sort of an allegorical fantasy which symbolizes the old year and the subsequent tradition. Transition.
Oh, I get it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Listen, Jackson, the next time you give me a line like that, I'm going to punch you right in the nose.
Phil, you know you loved it. And now for our play. The scene, a great big house called the Earth. The time, almost midnight of December 31st, when Mr. and Mrs. 1940's lease is about to expire. Curtain. Music. Oh, Mariah. Mariah.
What do you want, Pa?
Better hurry up with that packing. Landlord said we got to get out by midnight to make room for the new tenant.
The new tenant? Who's he?
Oh, some little nudist by the name of 41. He don't know what he's getting into, does he?
Nope. Things around here sure have been a mess.
You said it. But of that, Mariah, we ain't so bad off in this side of the house. We got 48 rooms that's in pretty good condition. Yes, sir.
Say, Pa, turn on the moon. I can't see what I'm packing here.
Okay. Hey, Moon!
What do you want, you old fossil?
I want some light down here and quit winking at my wife.
Okay. Say, you want some milk, too?
Milk?
Yeah, a cow just jumped over me. Boy, that's a Lulu.
Well, I'll be darned.
Quit gabbing, Pa. We ain't got much time.
That's right. There's them shooting stars. They're having a feud again.
Doggone it, Pa. Even with all our troubles, I kind of hate to leave here.
So do I. Yes, sir.
Darn those flies, they're all over the house. Shoo, shoo.
Leave 'em alone, Ma. We need 'em. Well, 5 minutes to 12. We better start rounding up the kids.
Wonder who that can be.
I'll go over and see. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair. Boy, am I hep to the jive. Well, well, look who's here.
Who is it, Pa?
It's Venus from across the Milky Way.
Hello, kid.
Well, what are you doing here?
I heard you were leaving tonight, so I thought I'd drop over and say goodbye.
Mighty sweet of you. Say, Venus, you put on a little weight, didn't you?
Yeah, especially around the equator.
Yet and so I can't tell you from the Big Dipper. Well, thanks for dropping in, Venus. Been a pleasure knowing you.
Same here. Goodbye, kid.
Goodbye. Well, Ma, it's almost midnight. So put on that silly hat of yours and let's get going.
Okay, Pa.
There's the first stroke of 12. I wonder what's keeping the new tenant.
Don't worry, he'll be here.
I suppose so.
Say, Pa, look out the window. There's a dark cloud.
Oh, yes. Are you going to rain, Cloud?
No, just passing by.
Darn that Cloud, it's wearing my wristwatch again. Oh, well. Time's a fleeting. But we can't leave until that little rascal gets here.
That must be him now.
Yep. Come in. Well. Hello, young feller. Are you the little New Year?
I ain't Baby Sandy.
Well, well, my boy. Come right in. Well, this is it, young man. Tell me what you think of your new home.
Boy, what a dump. This house could sure stand a lot of fixing up.
I know it, son. A lot of things wrong. That darn Mars has been acting up all year. Of course, he hasn't bothered us in this wing so much. Everything's okay from the Hudson Bay window in the attic clear down to the basement. But come over here, son. I want to show you something. See that other wing of the house right across that big swimming pool?
Yes, sir.
Those rooms are in the gall-darndest condition you ever seen. Holes in the furniture, walls torn down. Tell you, son, it's lucky we got that swimming pool. Yep.
Well, gee, who's causing all the trouble over there?
Oh, a couple of hoodlums. One of them is getting pretty sick of it, I understand. A bulldog's been nipping at him. Son, you got a tough job ahead of you.
But everything's all right here, eh, mister?
Yep, everything's fine. You got the same caretaker that was here for the last 8 years. You ought to get to know him.
What's his name?
Just call him Franklin. Nice fella.
For heaven's sake, let's get going.
Just a second, Ma. Now, there's just one more thing, son.
What's that?
Well, after I leave, if you see another fella puttering around that looks as old and decrepit as I am, don't throw him out. It ain't another Father Time. It's just Fred Allen. He's been kicking around here for years.
Oh, sourpuss, eh?
That's him.
Come on, Pa, you're talking too much.
I am coming, Ma. Round up the kids and we'll be on our way. Well, good luck, son. Watch your step.
Thanks, old-timer.
You're welcome. Happy New Year, young fella.
Happy New Year.
Come on, Ma. Let's go.
This being the time of the year when most of you housewives are getting new 1941 calendars to hang on your kitchen wall, I'd like to tell you about another kind of calendar that you can get. A calendar that you can keep on your kitchen shelf and use every single day of the year. It's the new Calendar of Desserts, a beautiful recipe book that's really different. A recipe book such as you've never laid eyes on before. The calendar of desserts contains 365 novel and intriguing ideas for desserts. A brand new suggestion for every dinner during the whole year. For example, on page 5, there's a dessert made with plump, juicy black cherries and rich red cherry jello that will bring a gleam to every eye every time it's served. And there are 364 other swell ideas in this handy calendar of desserts. So send in right now for your copy. Just mail 10 cents in coin or stamps to Jack Benny, care of General Foods, Battle Creek, Michigan, for this clever year-round calendar of desserts. Send for it today.
The last number of the 13th program in the current Jello series, and we will be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the radio critics, writers, and columnists of America for the honors bestowed upon my program, members of my cast, and myself in the recent poll conducted by Radio Daily. I also want to thank our listeners as well as my authors, Bill Morrow and Ed Boulogne. We all wish you listeners a very happy New Year. Good night, folks.
J-E-L-L